I don't know. We're having technical difficulties, so that's why I'm just walking around, chilling. We're good. What's up, everybody? Sorry, we were having some technical difficulties, but I'm still having technical difficulties. 1 sec, I just dropped something. Cool. It's all right. Mic is still good. Hey, this mic's gonna run out of battery probably. So what's up? Hey guys, can you do me a favor, because we were having some issues just getting this thing live? Can you go ahead and quickly just leave a message so that our team can see that you can hear us, you can see me? Just say something. Say yes, say woohoo, say I can see you. That way we know before I start getting into the content and learn I'm talking to myself. So let's do that real quick. So Stuart, let me know when you see a comment. Usually there's about 20 to 30-second delay, so I want you guys to know that too on YouTube. All right, I got a thumbs up. We are live. That's awesome. So guys, we're here to talk about this amazing book. But more than anything, I wanted to give you access to me today. That's why we're calling it Millionaire Access, right? So you can ask me any questions. And you know what? We don't have a ton of people on this. I purposely wanted to keep it small, intimate, so that we could really talk and get to know each other better. And what I've got here is in front of me, I've got my screens. So we're absolutely going to, I'm going to have my whiteboard. I can write and I can do whiteboard stuff. That's really it. It's going to be up to you guys. Now, before we start, I do want to ask you for a quick favor. All right, so Stuart, if you could turn over to my screen here. All right, guys, so you'll see something on the screen here, and that is that I'm really asking if you could please go to Amazon.com, okay? So if you go to Amazon.com, and you just type in Escape Onyx Singal. Something's happening with my mouse here. Oh, crap. So you type in Escape Onyx Singal. I know what's happening. All right. Escape Onyx Singal. And if you see the book, you just click on it. And we've got 131 reviews right now. So that is awesome. My goal up until last night was to hit 100 plus. Now the goal is 150. So if you could please, if you're watching this right now, take just 2 minutes while we're doing the session. Go in there, give it a 5-star review. Give it an, give it an awesome review. Write a few sentences about it. The reason that's really powerful for us is because I'm out there right now about to talk to a publishing house to publish the book. So you'll see people are putting their selfie pictures up. We had one student even put a video up with the book. So please, if you could do some stuff, help us out. Again, go to Amazon.com, type in Escape Onyx Singal, find the listing, click on it, leave a review there. And if you could give it a 5 stars, that would be amazing if you feel that I've earned it. Now, for those of you who are saying that you've not received the book yet, if you haven't received it yet, there's nothing I can do about it. It's out, trust me. But you can message us at support@learn.com, support@lurn.com, and we will absolutely get you a specific, like, hey, it's shipped or it's left or whatever. Challenge is that when we ship internationally, so most people in the United States never have to have that complaint. Most people in Canada never have that complaint. Even most people in Mexico never have that complaint. But as soon as we go outside of those these 3 countries, we are totally reliant on the local shipping, the local postal office or the local postal service of your country. So for example, I know that when we ship to India, it takes like 3 weeks, okay? When we ship to like Malaysia, it can take a long time versus like we can ship to Europe and it's quicker. It's just not up to us. It's up to things out of our control. That's why I give you digital access to this book so you can start reading it right inside of Learn Nation. How awesome is Learn Nation? So we'll log into Learn Nation later too and go over that. I want to really get you guys into the Learn Nation platform, taking the courses, really getting yourself in there and starting to fine tune and hone in all of these skills that will help you become an entrepreneur, right? So cool. All right. Well, Stuart, how many people do we have on?
92.
All right, so we're close to about 100 people. That's awesome. That means, guys, we're going to get a lot of time to talk to each other, and I'll be able to answer a lot of your questions. I'm just going to message someone something real quick because I want them to close the door. Otherwise, we're going to disturb the whole team.
I'm all done.
Okay, cool. Never mind. Stuart's on it. All right. So we talked about the book. We talked about leaving the review. We're going to talk about Learn Nation pretty soon. You also know right now we have the masterclass that's open for enrollment only for another week or so. Last night, we sold out of half of our available seats. I think we have another like 45 seats available to the masterclass. So it's either we sell out of those 45 seats or a week goes by and then it closes and then we start the masterclass. That's a 12 to 16 week program where I literally walk you through piece by piece through the whole book. There's 2 webinars a week. One webinar is with me teaching you pretty much like this for like an hour, hour and a half. Can you imagine, like, just on one thing, we'll pick like 3 pages and I'll spend an hour telling you, teaching you, answering your questions, giving you access on a regular weekly basis. And then, of course, we do one webinar a week, which is with one of our coaches, where we facilitate the assignments. So I'm going to give you an assignment when we do our webinar. You have to go off, take a few days to do the assignment. That's meant to help you increase your e-score. And then we come back and you work with a coach to kind of fine-tune them and refine them. The third thing I really wanted to talk about was your quiz results. Have you done your e-score? Do you know your e-score? Because if you haven't yet, you need to go to learn.com/quiz. That again is learn, LURN.com/quiz. And just get your e-score quiz results, because that'll tell you exactly where you need to focus, where you need to fine-tune where you need to focus in the book, what skill sets you need, and what part of the masterclass where we can be like the most impactful to help you raise your e-score. All right? Now, I don't know exactly what the page looks like that you're currently watching this on, but right below the video, you should have the ability to type in questions. And so this entire webinar here, guys, is going to be driven, this entire training, whether we go an hour or whether we go 3 hours, is really determined by you and your questions that you ask me. Now, here's my request. So feel free to ask questions below, but please, guys, let's ask intelligent questions, all right? Let's take this time and use it very well. Don't ask, let me put it this way. A mentor once taught me that the best questions are the most specific. The more specific you can make your question, the more likely I'm going to pick it to answer it publicly here, and the more likely you're going to get value out of the answer. Asking me questions like, Anik, how do I make money, it's not a specific question. There is no answer to that. You know better than that, right, at this point, because there are literally hundreds of business models. So learn to ask good questions. That is actually one of the skills, right? I talk about it here. I say ask questions, seek help. That's one of the tips we talk about in the book, in Escape. But, you know, I make a specific point to say ask good questions, specific questions, thought out questions. The better the questions you ask, the better the answers you get, the more success you have. So even right before getting on this, I was on a session for an hour talking to someone, getting advice and tips and help from them. And my goal the entire time was, how do I ask the right specific questions? That's my challenge to you, all right? So let's see, who's going to be the first one that asks us a really good, targeted, specific question? Stuart, do we have someone?
Okay, Natisha. I aspire to start an online business. She wants to start a little bit more in Shopify e-commerce, but she also saw your Copywriting Academy course. Which should she focus her training on first?
That's an awesome question. So look at that. That's a very specific question. What was her name again?
Natisha.
Natisha, great job. Thank you for asking such a specific question. So her question, everybody, was she wants to start an online business. She's really tickled by the whole Shopify world. And she kind of was thinking about an e-com Shopify business, but then she saw Copywriting Academy and was really intrigued by that. So which should she do first? Okay, so to be honest with you, it's very rare, Natisha, that you that anyone asks me a question about Copywriting Academy where the answer is that these two are really actually very different. So if Natisha, if you told me you want to be a coach, a consultant, an email marketer, an affiliate marketer, a digital publisher, if you want to start any of your own business that's not physical product related, the first answer I would give you is Copywriting Academy, hands down, has to come first. Here's why. Copywriting Academy, guys, is not just about copywriting. It's not just about like how to write and sell through the written word, although that's like the bulk of what it is. We start the very first like half or the first third of Copywriting Academy is all about psychology. And I think that when you want to start your own business, you need to first master psychology, buyer psychology, buyer behavior. You need to understand why people make purchases, what gets people to do what. You need to understand all of these things. So my answer to you is that if you really want to start at a core, right? So my mentor said, this is one of my first mentors, said something to me that back then made no sense. And today I tell you, it makes all the sense in the world. He said to me, every successful business person must be able to sell through the art of the written word. Right? Every successful business person must be able to sell through the art of the written word. Now, if you really rip that apart, he's not saying every successful business person must sell through the art of the written word. He said must be able to. The reason is because learning and becoming a good copywriter essentially helps you learn the psychology and behavior patterns of buying decisions. So it can only help your business. It can only help you in your way of communication. So when I teach copywriting, I tell people it's not just going to teach you how to write better to sell more. It's going to teach you how to be better at communicating, how to meet people, and how to be the life of a party. Even if you're the biggest introvert right now, I teach you communication cycles that literally intrigue people and captivate people and make people want to be around you and allow you the ability to influence people. So this is a very foundational core thing, Nitisha. And I think that it should come before anything. Now, with that, I'm going to caveat a little bit and negate what I just said. In the world of e-commerce, there's a lot less buyer psychology happening, especially early on. As soon as you get into the point where you want to scale to 7 or 8 figures, even in e-commerce, you do need to go back and study buyer psychology. But if you just kind of want to get started, you want to make your first 10, 20, 30, 100 grand, 200 grand, in e-com, what I love about e-com is you can actually do that without understanding the deep buyer psychology things. So Nitisha, it's really about your life right now, where you are. Do you just want like, I got to get in there, I got to get something going, I got to do something? Then I would say go ahead and do you know, Fred Lamb's Zero Up program, do that first, and then come in and take Copywriting Academy shortly thereafter. But if you're like, no, I'm in this long haul, I really want to build my foundation, I want to pour the concrete first, then definitely take Copywriting Academy first. Or let me offer you kind of a middle ground, Nitisha. I'll give you something that's pretty cool. How about you log into Learn Nation and take the Copywriting Boot Camp? Okay, it's free, no credit card, no nothing. Just take the boot camp first. That'll at least get you some of the psychology going. You'll be thinking, you'll get your you get your head going, and then switch over and the investment part where you invest in training, invest in Zero Up. So now you're getting a little bit of both. And then once you're through Zero Up, come back, take Copywriting Academy. But every person watching, I don't care if you do it now, if you do it 3 months from now, if you do it from a year from now, everybody watching has to take Copywriting Academy. You just have to. It is such a fundamental course. It will never change. It's absolutely evergreen. And like I said, it discusses and it teaches buyer psychology. That never changes.
Another question?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Grace, advice on luxury brands that has a lot of targeted traffic from Google Ads and Facebook Ads, but no sales.
Okay, from Grace, advice on luxury brands that has a lot of targeted traffic from Facebook and Google, but no sales. Well, okay, so a couple of things, Grace. First of all, typically the words targeted traffic and no sales don't go hand in hand. So I would challenge you to really question whether you truly have targeted traffic. Is it really that targeted? Because when you get no sales, buyer psychology. Let's talk about buyer psychology. When you get no one is willing to pull their credit card out, what does that mean? That means it doesn't mean and assuming that you've checked your cart, everything's working, assuming you have a sample size that's big enough, you can't make too early decisions, okay? But that really means is the people landing on your page are not interested enough, or you have not hit the value proposition for them. So I'll give you a prime example. I'm a big fan of watches, right? So we talk about luxury brands. I'm a big fan of watches. So like right now I'm wearing a beautiful Breitling, and this was probably $7,000, $8,000 to buy. Not I'm bragging about the cost of it. I like watches. I appreciate a fancy timepiece. So if you target me with an ad for a beautiful looking watch, there's a good chance I'm going to click it. All right, it's beautiful. It's a new brand. I've never heard about it before. I'm going to be intrigued. I'll say, wow, what is this? And I'll click over to the page. And as soon as I get to the page, if I see a price point of like $199, $199 or whatever, instantly in my head it's going to trigger that this is not a exclusive, elusive, high-end brand. It's not going to fit in my watch collection. So I'm going to leave. Even though I might think the watch is beautiful and I like the watch and I like everything about it. But the way I, as a collector, evaluate watches and their worth is by their exclusivity. And exclusivity almost always comes at a higher price point. So I've come to train my mind to think higher price point means exclusivity. Most people think that way, right? So think the reverse. If you're getting people coming to your website that you think are interested in higher brand, upper end products, but they're not willing to buy, well then probably the truth is you're getting people that are coming to your website and cannot afford those products, and hence you are actually not getting targeted traffic. But I want to challenge one more thing, because we get this all the time. People who, I have students who sell I have had a student in the past who sells a $10,000 consulting service. Okay, $10,000. This is one of our coaching consulting students, $10,000 coaching consulting service that they sell. And they came to me panicked, freaking out after they had spent $500 in ads. I don't have a sale. I said, see, here's the challenge with spending $10,000 or getting a $10,000 client is you got to be willing to spend a lot of money, right? So I asked them this. I said, okay, you've spent $500. You've not gotten a sale yet. So had you gotten a sale, your ROI would have been what, like, I don't know, some 900%, 700%, like ridiculous ROI, right? And he said, yeah. I said, okay, what if I told you for every $3,000 you spend, you would get a client? So you'd make $7,000 profit on $3,000 in ad spend. You'd be still achieving like a 250% ROI. How would you feel? He goes, I do that all day long. I'm like, great. Then why are you panicking at $500? So if you're selling a luxury brand, unfortunately, what that also means is you better come at it with a luxury budget to test things. That's the downside of selling high-ticket products through advertising. That's why when I'm doing this thing right now, I don't have it with me, I call it the one-page business model, where I'm talking about how to build digital businesses, and I'm talking about the one-page business model for digital businesses. And literally in the very first step, I talk about free, entry, premium. Premium, which is what you're doing, the luxury brand, it's the third step. But you got to have a free and you got to have an entry. Why? Because I want to give something easy for people to start engaging with me, right? For people to start getting into my brand. Look at Tesla. Tesla is a luxury car brand that literally sells cars. I mean, I don't think you can get a Tesla. Well, you couldn't up until recently. Couldn't get a Tesla for less than like $80,000. Yet they're all over the roads. But even Tesla came out with the Model 3, which just starts at like $35,000 or $40,000, right? Look at BMW. That's an exclusive luxury brand, but even there you can, if you want, get a $30,000, $35,000 car. So if you want to have fast exposure in a luxury world, you gotta have some lower ticket products so that you could test ads quicker. But if you're selling luxury brands, you better, if that's all you're selling, then you better come at it with a big budget for advertising before your sample size is big enough for you to draw conclusions from it. Hope that helps.
Cool. We have a lot of good questions.
Uh-oh.
So Neil and Nicole, yesterday you stated that you used the coaching revenue, $5 million, $6 million, to fund the digital publishing aspect of the business. She-win problems. What were the discrete issues that were impediments to the digital publishing getting positive cash flow and profitable? Q2 solutions. So
first, let's do the Q1.
Yep.
Okay, that's a big question. So her question, I'll repeat. What was her name?
Neil Nichols.
Neil Nichols? All right, great question. I love the fact that you guys are asking me specific questions. I'm telling you, I will be able to deliver that much more specific value back to you. So the specific question was, why did I, last night on the Escape Bootcamp, so congratulations for being on that and today, that's awesome. So last night on that webinar, I talked about business models, right? And I talked about the power of three, like the three business models I like the most, but then I was like aching to bring up fourth one up because I really love this one. And so I talked about how my favorite business model right now, this is me, this doesn't have to be you, okay, is digital publishing. I love selling content. I love training. I love education. I love the fact that even right now I probably have people from all over the world on listening, and I'm just chilling here in my office. But I talked about how I first used coaching and consulting. So I was a consultant. I was charging $500 per website. It took me about 2 hours to do what I was charging for. And that was the first actual major money I had. That wasn't the first money I made, but it was the first major money I made. So I talked about how I used that money to build my digital publishing business. And so Neil Nichols is asking, why? Like, why was that required? Why couldn't you make enough money in digital publishing to fund itself? Here's why. Because digital publishing has a lot of legs. There's a lot of things you need to learn. In order to do digital publishing correctly, you need to A, create a product, right? You have to have a digital publishing product that you can put online. B, you have to play with technology a little bit. You got to get a members area up. You got to get your sales pages up. You got to do payment processing, so you got to connect with like ClickBank or your own merchant account or One Shopping Cart or Infusionsoft. Like there's tech involved. There's processing involved. You have to have customer support involved. You have to make the sales pages, right? Like the sales video, the copy, the design. There's all these legs, and very few people in the world do I even think should or can do all of that. Like I couldn't. I'm not technical. I don't know how to design pages. I don't want to connect things. I still, till this day, if you put a gun to my head, I have no idea how to get a web page up on the internet. So I needed help. Help meant I needed money. I need to hire that help. So what I did is I used a trick that is taught by Guy Kawasaki in It's the book. The book is called Art of the Start. I hadn't read it back then, but I read it later and was like, oh wow, this is what I did. The book is called Art of the Start. Love the book. And in that book, he literally teaches how you should go become a coach consultant first, get that cash flow coming, and then use that cash flow to reinvest back into building up the business. So that is why, Neil Nichols, I had to. It's not that digital publishing can't make its own money. It absolutely can, but it requires some funding. It requires some investment up front, and it requires the right team, the right people around you that can do all the different pieces. And I just needed time to put that together, but I wanted to execute and generate revenue. So that's why I did that. Right. Second question on that?
You basically answered the second question.
Cool.
All right. Jody Netzer, what metrics, processes, dots, and beliefs do you use to determine whether an action is the best action for the goal? How do you estimate how long a new task or new project is going to take? And will there be a recording available of this session?
So there will be a recording of this session. That's an easy question. The other questions, they made my eyes cross. So let's read them again one more time. So Jody
Netzer.
Jody Netzer, okay.
So what metrics, processes, dots, and beliefs do you use to determine whether an action is the best action for the goal?
Okay, so what metrics, patterns, and dots and things I use to determine if whatever action I'm doing is the best action? I don't have an answer to that, Jody, and here's why. Because every single decision I do is different, right? So I don't have like a, I know I see what you're trying to do, Jody. You're probably a very logical thinker. You're probably very calculated. So what you're trying to do is build an Excel sheet to make decisions, and I haven't quite gotten there, but that's like artificial intelligence level stuff. So personally, the most basic answer I can give you, Jody, is if I'm making a big decision. So let's say tomorrow I'm making a decision. I'm like, all right, you know what? I want to launch another book. I want to write my next book. I'm going to sit down and say, okay, is this the right time? How do I determine that? Well, what's it going to take? How much investment? How much time? How much energy? What opportunity cost to it? What else are my options? I put everything. So I love to do these like big whiteboard sessions where I just throw everything on the wall. Like I like to do those things where you see in the detective movies where the detective is standing back and he's got like pictures up and like little lines between them. Like I don't actually do that, but I put all the pictures up. I put everything up, words and everything, and I just sit back and I stare at it and I try to piece things together like the movie Beautiful Mind. Like I just move things around. And what I'm trying to do is figure out what is my opportunity cost. And the biggest thing I'm focusing on, all right, that I'm trying to figure out is what are my risks? What's my worst case scenario? So if I have 3 potential things I can do right now, I say, let me look at what is my worst case scenario if I pick this path, or this path. Then I look at the worst case scenario and I say, which of these worst case scenarios am I most capable of addressing and handling right now so that it wouldn't even be a big deal for me, right? So for example, let's say one of my paths was, well, I want to focus on launching a new course on the platform. And so I determined, okay, that'll take me about a week of filming. It'll take my team about a week of processing, another week miscellaneous. 3 weeks, I can be up and running and live. I can have the course on the platform, and it can be generating revenue. Okay, what's the worst case that can happen in that set of decisions? The worst case could be that I launched the course, nobody at Learn cares, it doesn't sell well, so I've wasted a week of my time, a week of my team's time, and a week of like miscellaneous time. Okay, is that a big deal? Is it gonna crash the company? Is it gonna ruin everything? Like, no, it's not. It's pretty manageable. It's okay, we'll still make some sales, but maybe not the level we want. Okay, scenario 1. Scenario 2, I'm gonna focus all my energy on writing my next book. I'm gonna get my book published. I'm gonna film, the upsell courses. I'm gonna have, a book launch put together. I'm gonna get affiliates together. I'm gonna get a marketing plan together. I'm gonna shoot all the videos. I'm gonna do all this. And look at that. I'm like, all right, that's gonna take like 4.5 months, 5 months of different departments focusing full-fledged on getting this thing done and ready. So then I look at that. I'm like, man, for that 4 or 5 months, like I'm not gonna be able to like generate a lot of revenue with new products and new things. So that book, if it flops and it doesn't do well, I could be putting jobs at risk, the company at risk. I mean, it could be. I mean, I can still handle the worst case, but it would be a lot tougher to handle. Like it would be a negative scenario. So you see how I look at both scenarios, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go this route. This is less risky with a more assured, guaranteed return. But I'll keep doing this until I get to a point where scenario B, the risk factor is far less than the gains, and so then I will choose B. So I am a logical thinker, but I can't apply a certain set of data points to make every decision. Every decision is different, requires different data points.
Cool. Thomas Love. Hey, Onik, my E-score is 78, self-catapult authority all over 80, but my score for people is really low. It's at 55. And this is true. Support the energy around you. Ask questions, seek answers are really low for me. After watching the webinar yesterday, you opened my eyes a bit. My question for you would be the number one tip you have for me boosting that up. We'll read those chapters every single day, by the way.
Okay, awesome. So who is the person?
Thomas Love.
Thomas? All right, great question, man. By the way, guys, thank you so much for continuing to be specific. It really allows me to be powerful in my response to you guys. So Thomas asked that his... Thomas Slav?
Yeah.
Thomas Slav. All right. That's a cool name. Russian? All right. So he asked, basically, he's got a pretty good E-score, but people is the lowest. And within people, it's about supportive energy around you and asking questions and seeking help. Those were like his lowest ones. So he's asking, what specific tips can I give to help increase his people score? This is, you know, it's common, man. People is a tough thing. It involves emotions. It involves other people, right? You don't have full control over this. You can't really control it. So the first thing that I would tell anyone who's dealing with this is you got to get in front of people. Okay, people thing takes practice. A lot of us don't get this practice. Essentially, when it kind of connects back to, so if you look here, right, like the 4 stages. If you look at A. If you look at A, right, authority, leadership, I told you, right, like I proved this over and over, like most of us, very few of us growing up actually get a chance to even practice authority and leadership. The rest of us are left behind in that area. The cool thing when you get a chance to practice authority and leadership is it innately impacts your ability to manage people better. You just learn from a childhood how to deal with people. So the reason a lot of us are not good at the P, at the stage 4, is just because we don't have experience with it, right? So imagine driving, right? The first time you got in a car and tried to drive, it was like the hardest thing in the world. You're sitting there thinking, wow, how can I do this? But once you start to drive again and again and again and again and again and again, and it becomes subconscious. It's like I don't get in a car now and actually think, okay, turn my flicker on. Okay, now pull the steering wheel. Okay, now let it go. Okay, now apply the gas pedal. Like it's just, my muscle memory is just doing it. So people is the same way. So the first thing I would tell you is, you know, go to meetup.com, join some local meetups, just get in front of people. Seriously, just get in front of people that are like in your genre, that are entrepreneurs or that are going to bring that positive energy to you. Start, if you are at home and it's a negative energy, a lot of people, I saw this example done once, okay? So imagine this glass, right? But like imagine it's like less full, so I should drink more. But imagine it's less full and it's like really salty water. Okay, so that's negativity. Like let's say you're in your home and like this much of it is like just negative, right? And so a lot of people in the personal development space would say, well, pour it out, just empty the glass, get rid of them. That's a lot easier said than done in many cases, and I don't really think that's the right answer. Okay, if you want to make this less, because we're always going to have some negativity in our life, okay? We're always going to have some struggles with people. Like, that's just going to always be there. You can't eliminate it completely. So my tip is, if you have this much negativity, like if you're surrounded by negative people and things like that, rather than trying to pour this out, why don't you take water that doesn't have any salt in it, the positivity, and pour it in? So that you fill up the water up to this high, and all of a sudden now it's not nearly as salty because you added such a good positivity, right? So you drained it down. So that's what I want to do, is if you don't have a good, if you're not good with people, like get out there and meet people, right? Go to different groups, join your chamber of commerce locally, go hang out with other entrepreneurs that bring that positive energy to you. Go to meetup.com. There's probably tons of meetups. Even if these events have 5, 6, 7 people, man, that is powerful because it just takes one person to make a big impact in your life. And then if you're this asking questions, seeking help, this is a big thing. That there's usually 2 reasons why people are not good at asking questions and seeking help. Number 1 is ego, plain and simple. They don't want to ask questions because they don't want to come across as if they don't know something. I heard a really funny story just a couple weeks ago from someone who said, so someone just took over our local chamber of commerce. She's the president of this commerce chamber, but she came from Denver. She used to be in Denver running something there. And she told me that in Denver one day, like she really likes to serve her local area. And so she said in Denver one day, someone came to her and said, you know, I really wish we had more training. I wish we could do more of this and we could do more of that. And this one topic, I really want to learn more about it. Can you do some training events on it? So this woman from the Chamber of Commerce, she went around like crazy. And she put together an awesome training event when she called people in and said, we're going to get the top experts in the county about this topic. They're going to come in, they're going to teach it. So she's like communicating with that lady who had originally requested it, right? And she puts the event together. The day of the event comes, and that same woman who had requested it, who had sent this whole journey for 2 months of putting the event together to even begin, she doesn't show up. So of course, this, the woman who put it all together was kind of upset. Like, my God, why wouldn't you show up? I put it together for you. So she calls her the next day, and that lady who didn't show up, you know what she says? She's like, well, I couldn't be there. I couldn't let everybody know that I didn't know that stuff. I couldn't be in a room. I have to be the expert at that. People have to perceive me. It's like, we are so worried. That's like me saying, I can't go to an internet marketing event. Gosh, if I was sitting in the attendance of an internet marketing event, people would think I don't know internet marketing. Man, I go to every event I can get my hands on. I was just, right before this Ask session, I was literally on a webinar with another expert saying, teach me. Because I don't know everything. God, I don't know 10% of things, right? So this is a habit. So either it's ego or it's fear. What kind of fear? Well, typically it's a fear of being rejected, believe it or not. It's the same reason that you won't go up to a girl at a bar to ask her on a date, because you're so damn scared she might say no, right? Been there, done that. But who cares? Seriously, who cares if she says no, right? If you really step back and you think about it, you're like, God, why do I care so much about that? Because you're probably going to forget by the next day. You're going to move on. You probably never see the person again. So my whole point is, like, what's the worst that can happen if you ask someone for help? What, they'll say no? They'll tell. I have had it happen in my life. I had a very rude, literally I've had this happen maybe 3 or 4 times, and I'm talking out of hundreds of people that have asked for help. Hundreds. It's probably 0.1, 0.2%. Statistically, it's invalid, right? But I remember one case, which I was a little offended, right? And let me just walk you through the worst interaction I ever had asking someone for help and how that went. Literally, I had a friend. I was trying to learn how to do some video streaming, media stuff. And he was a friend. I had known him for a long time. So I was in San Diego one day, and that's where he lives. And I was like, hey, can I come? Like, I want to see you use this equipment. Like, I want to learn how to do this stuff. Like, do you mind teaching me or showing me? He's like, yeah, come on by. So I went to his apartment, like personal apartment, and he sat there with me for hours teaching me stuff. He was like, go home and do this, blah, blah, blah. I was like, wow, that was literally such valuable information for me. It saved me from weeks of classes. So after all is said and done, like weeks later, I had like another question. So I just texted him, because that's what friends do, right? I was like, hey, do you mind like answering this question for me? This was the worst interaction I ever had in my life. The person replied to me and said, you know what, man, I don't make a business of helping everyone for free. Like, if you want my time, respect my time. If you want my time, pay me for it. It was pretty rude. It was like super rude. He didn't even need to say it that way. He literally could have asked nicely, and I would have been happy to pay him for it. But after he said it that way, I said, screw you. There's 300 other people that can help me that I know. I don't need this. So yes, was I upset? Yeah, for like a day or two, kind of hurt. Like, I just like, wow, I thought this guy was my friend. He's so rude. But that's the worst in a 30-plus year, like I'm 35 years old, and 35 years of having built a habit of asking questions and seeking help. That is the worst that's ever happened to me. And I was still over it 2 days later. So I'm trying to remove that fear, guys. Nothing bad happens, all right? So you asked a simple question, and I gave you a very long answer. But the question was, how can you help improve that? Simple. Make it a goal every day that you ask three questions. 3 different people, a question each. Just because you want to get in the habit of it. All right?
Awesome. Let's see. Dean from the United Kingdom. I've got my Copywriting Academy certificate. Where do I go next? I'm getting bombarded with products, trainings from other platforms. How can I get copywriting experience?
So the question is a good question. Dean, you want to know, basically you got Copywriting Academy, you got certified, you're getting bombarded by a lot of other offers from a lot of other people. Well, that's always going to happen. That's their job. They're marketers, right? It's not their fault. That's your fault. You can control your own experience of advertising. Just stop paying attention. If it's distracting you, cut it out. Unsubscribe, leave, walk out. You don't have to absorb all of that. You need to learn as an entrepreneur to take over and take charge of what you need. So right now, you are very specific. You know exactly what you need. To get to the next step, you need experience as a copywriter, right? So anything that doesn't help you get experience as a copywriter needs to be ruled out. That's not currently what you should be focusing on doing. But let me challenge you a little bit, Dean, because the question has a very simple answer. You want experience as a copywriter? Start writing. Seriously, right now, just start writing. Go pick any product that already exists on the internet. pick any sales letter and just start rewriting it. What you're really asking, Dean, is how do I get experience as a copywriter while getting paid, right? Well, my friend, I'm not going to pay you if you don't have any experience. I'm sure as heck not going to pay you to be, I'm not going to be your guinea pig, right? No one wants to be your guinea pig. Let's just talk about it logically. So the first question, as a matter of fact, I'm looking right now. I am out there searching for a webinar creator. I put a post on my personal Facebook page. You can actually see it. I literally said, anyone know a great webinar writer? Now, I'm awesome at that, right? Everyone knows I'm great at doing webinars and writing webinars. But I mean, I need a team now. I need to scale bigger. It can't always be me doing it. So the first thing I ask, Dean, for people that message me and say, I'm really good at it, is say, great, show me your work. Let me see. And if someone said, well, I'm trying to practice, out. I'm not going to pay you to practice. So, Dean, you just got to get out there, man. You got to build a portfolio. If that means you got to do work for free, if that means you got to rewrite existing work and the person who you rewrote it for doesn't even know, you're just doing it to build your own portfolio, build a portfolio. And you'll get tons of experience, but you're going to have to do it for free, my friend, because no one else is going to pay to teach you. That's not cool. You got to pay to teach yourself. Once you have that portfolio, then get out on different Facebook groups. Remember, my rule with copywriting takes one. That's it. Just takes one client, and then the referrals start. Get into the various copywriting Facebook groups. You will see plenty of opportunities. Start offering yourself for either, I don't like to offer myself for cheap because that's not good. I'll either offer when I was starting off, I offered to do it for free. And I would literally tell them, I'll do it for free, but you got to give me a video testimonial and you got to refer me 3 people. Are you cool with that? And they almost always say yes. Do their thing for free, get those 3 referrals, and to those 3 referrals, you charge money. And so that's how you start the whole process to kind of light a fire for getting clients.
Pretty solid. Navish, hi Onik. In this gig, you mentioned how you lost everything and fell 1.7 million in debt. You recovered in 16 months. What advice would you have for someone who is going through the exact same thing? What did you do to generate money, and what online businesses would you recommend first?
Cool. So Navish basically is asking me, you know, I talk about in the book and I talk about all the time how I had made it so big and then I lost $1.7 million and went into massive $1.7 million in debt. And he's facing the same challenge right now. So he's saying, Onik, what do you recommend? What do I do? How do I get out of that? And what specific business models can help me get out of that? So Navish, that's a good question, but it's a question that has like 38 answers because there's no one way to get out of debt, right? So first and foremost, listen, I don't mean to preach this because I'm not trying to sell you anything, right? You already got the book, right? It's in your hands. So this is how I got out of debt. Like literally, you're not going to get out of debt through tactics. Right now, Navish, you might be chasing a whole bunch of tactics. You asked me, right? Which business model is going to get me out of debt? I don't know. I don't know you, right? Like, I can tell you what business model got me out of debt. It was digital publishing. But that's because I love doing videos. I love doing webinars. I'm a great copywriter. I had a good team. I know technical people who can build my funnels. Like, I had access to all these assets. I don't know if you have those or not. Right? Maybe you don't. Maybe coaching consulting is the best way for you to do it. Maybe opening, I don't know, doing multi-level marketing is the best way for you to do it. I have no idea. But that's why I love this, because when you go through this and when you start mastering this, and I know, right now you're thinking, God, I don't have time for all this mindset stuff. I just need to make money and get out of debt. That's the chicken and the egg, my friend, because it was by doing the exercises in this book that I was able to come up to the solutions and find the answers that I needed to know which business model, which way to go. It was because I realized I was chasing money that I was actually eluding money, and I was like literally just always chasing it. It was running away from me, and I was losing it all the time until I stopped and said, okay, stop. What do I want to do? What value do I want to drive? How do I want to serve people? Because I know one thing, and I've learned it again and again and again. Value. Your wealth, the amount of money you have and make is in direct proportion to the value you create. So you can make a lot of money, but you can't become wealthy without creating value. That's what I had done the first time. I had made a lot of money, but I built a house of cards because I wasn't delivering value. And then it fell apart and it all came crashing down. Now I focus on building value and I'm getting wealthy, not making a lot of money. So you've got to master the concepts I teach in this book, Navish. And then beyond that, get into the Learn Nation, man. Get into the platform. There's a free course called Digital Startup. Write that down. It's absolutely free, no cost. Digital Startup. Take it. It goes over e-com. It goes over digital publishing, coaching, consulting, blogging. It goes over all these business models, right? And we have then if you want to do the e-com boot camp, do the e-com boot camp. If you want to do the copywriting boot camp to learn how to be a copywriter, do the copywriting boot camp. They're all free. So get out there and experience, my friend. Learn. Get your hands dirty, and then find your answers. Because your answer has to be yours. but you will find it. But you got to get out there and you got to learn it. And that's literally in self. What's the fifth thing we talk about? The biggest secret of billionaires and millionaires: self-education. So I'm giving you a platform that's got a ton of that. Get in there, find the right business model for you, but you'll do it once you master what's in this book.
Cool. So just getting feedback. Dean goes, "Thanks for the answer. I needed to hear that. Stay blessed."
Thank you, Dean.
Thomas
Glad to hear
Love.
it.
Oh, sorry. Thomas Love goes, "It's Croatian. Thanks for the compliment and answer, Onyx. So much value. Many of the things you said already implementing daily. As one of my mentors teaches, constant spaced repetition is key."
Awesome.
All right. Let's see here. Ken Beza, what is the greatest challenge you have when you just started your digital publishing? If I will start digital publishing, where do I start?
Good question, Ken. All right, so Ken said, what was my number one challenge I faced when I was starting digital publishing? And if Ken was to start digital publishing, what is the number one challenge he would face? Ken, I think it's the complexity of it to start is what I've discovered, because we've also tried to teach this to people. We have an amazing program called Publish Academy. By the way, hint, hint, early October, Publish Academy 2.0 is releasing, and it's going to be 50% off. So just wait for that. Don't buy it right now. I don't even think it's available right now. But anyways, we're going to have a huge discount when it launches. So when I did the first round of this, right, and when we did Profit Academy, we did Publish Academy, I was so excited. I'm like, man, this is my best of the best stuff. Like, let's go. Let's put it out there. And like all of a sudden we got like a high refund rate, like a really high refund rate. And it like hurt my feelings. I was so sad. I'm like, this is my best training. This is how I've made all my money. And yet people are refunding it. So I started asking people. I started messaging like, what's wrong with you? Why are you refunding this absolutely life-changing program? And they literally said, it's too complex. It's too complicated. And so that made me realize, I'm like, okay, you know what? Like there are a lot of pieces to the digital publishing world. I love digital publishing because once you get it working, oh my God, it's actually, it might be complex when you start, but it's so simple when you get it working. So simple. So, you know, I was, yeah, I mean, like I literally just thought, I guess we got to compartmentalize it, which is why now we've started releasing courses like copywriting and like funnels and this. And like, so I'm trying to teach people in pieces so that we don't overwhelm them with everything. So the number one challenge you're going to face, my friend, is just you need a team. You need people. You can't do it yourself, all of it. I mean, there's literally very few people in the world. Of all the people I know, I think I know like 3 people. Of all the people I know like 3 people that have enough skill sets to do the whole thing themselves. From technical, from design, from marketing, from copywriting, from video filming, from product creation, membership site creation. Like there's so much to do there. So you're going to either need a ton of time to study all of that and master it yourself, which, I mean, a ton of time. That just sucks. Like I don't want to learn coding and I don't want to learn design, okay? Don't want to do it. But that's me. So you need a lot of time, or you need money. Like at least a few $1,000 bucks. Right, so that you can go out and hire the experts to do this stuff, like at least a few $1,000 bucks, and you better be able to digest the fact that, you know, it's a few $1,000 bucks. Like you may end up losing some of that. So my first digital publishing business was targeting college students. I created a PDF to help them learn how to study better, and I was trying to sell it for 50 bucks. And last thing I know about college students now is that they don't buy anything other than beer and pizza. So they were like, screw you to your book. They didn't buy crap. And so I put a lot of time, because that one I did have to learn how to do some design, like not a lot, but just like very simple stuff. I hired someone to put the members area up for me. The whole thing probably cost me like $1,000 bucks to get up and running, but it took me like 7 months because I wrote the whole thing. I wrote the PDF. I didn't hire anyone in that area. Totally flopped. It was a total flop. Like failed. I lost my $1,000 bucks. Probably lost a few more than that, like a few $100 bucks more than that. But man, in that 7 months, the amount I learned was, I don't know, how much have I made now from that knowledge? So it was an awesome win, but at the time, it was a short-term loss. So the complexity of it, the need for the team, all the different pieces, and basically in the end, you need money to become a digital publisher. Like you can't start that for free. You need a few $1,000 bucks.
Cool. Aslak, if I find a dog training program to promote, is it a good idea to target specific dog owners, golden retriever owners, Rottweiler owners, Schaefer owners, etc., or just target dog owners in general?
Cool. What was his name?
Aslak.
Aslak.
A-S-L-A-K.
Aslak. Sounds like something from Game of Thrones. I like it. It's a nice name. Aslak. Sounds powerful. All right. He's asking if he finds a good, he or she, we don't know, is asking if they find a good dog training product. Should they target specific breeds of dogs or just go after dog owners? That's a superb question. Here's what you'll find in marketing. It's the same as I told you with the questions. I said, be as specific as you can when I said, right? Ask questions. So, Aslak, if you had asked me this question 20 years ago, 30 years ago, the answer would have been, you gotta target dog owners because it's too expensive to try to niche it down. Plus, the data doesn't exist. Like, if I go to a list service that has data and I try to buy data, like, they're not gonna know. Like, these dogs own pugs. These owners own, pit bulls. These owners own golden retrievers. Like, they're not gonna have that level of data. They're just gonna say these are the people that own dogs, or these are the area codes, the zip codes that are most known to have pets. So, but today, with the awesome sniper targeting, and we talk about this in copywriting, by the way, in Copywriting Academy and the free bootcamp, we talk about like the whole like shotgun versus sniper mentality of targeting. With Facebook today, I can literally say, hey, I want to target owners of golden retrievers that are between the age of this and this, that are female, that live within a 50-mile radius of this zip code, who own an iPhone, right? And who love classical music. I'm just making crap up. But I can literally get my targeting that specific. So here's the cool thing. I think you should go specific. And I think what you should do is build 5 or 6 different landing pages that lead to the same product. So check this out. You could have a landing page that the headline of it says, 5 top training 5 amazing tricks to teach your to teach your golden retriever. And then your ad on Facebook and then all your articles and free marketing, it literally says, so that you're really targeting golden retriever. But then when they get there and they click the button at the bottom to go to the page to buy the product, it's just the general sales letter. But you already created that connection. You're going to get a higher click-through rate. You're going to get more attention, more people reading, more people watching, more people observing. And then if you have like, give me another breed of dogs.
Rottweilers.
Rottweilers. Okay, yeah. Rottweilers scare the crap out of me always. But Rottweilers, right? So 5 amazing tricks to teach your Rottweiler. So now you can go to Facebook, you can target people who love Rottweilers, who are pet owners, and like, it's really cool. So you just have to create, and by the way, those 5 pages may be the same. Just the headline changes, the picture of the dog on the page changes, and some of the text changes to personalize it to that breed of dog, and everything else stays the same, but I bet you your click-through rate goes up by 2x. You know what happens on Facebook or Google or any platform when your click-through rate goes up? Your costs go down. It's very, very well worth the extra day or half a day it takes to emulate the page over again and target the different breeds more specifically.
Cool. Devin, he asked, for mid-range price point affiliate offers, no more than 150 bucks, would it be best to use Facebook ads or solo ads? I was doing ecom, but hearing the business model from you on affiliate marketing, email marketing. I would like to do that model through ClickBank or self-help as someone who is currently learning those things and using those tools. I think it's a smart idea.
Facebook ads. Yes, if you're selling higher ticket products, don't do solo ads. They don't convert well to it. So 100, 150 bucks is a higher ticket product. Facebook ads all day long, without a doubt. If you're selling products that are $7 to $40, like 37, 27, 17, 7, few bucks, so anything below $37, $39, solo ads can work. Solo ads, I love solo ads. They help build my life and my career. They're just, I don't know if any of you have noticed, but we basically started the process of shutting down Clickonomy. The main reason is like it's just not driving the results we wanted, because I think the quality of clicks that you get from solo ads has just gone down a lot. And now what you find is you can still get high quality clicks from solo ads, but you got to buy from professionals and you got to buy from companies, and they charge a lot, right? Like they're going to charge a couple grand to even play. So solo ad world has changed a lot. So I'm kind of like right now, I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm 50-50 on where I am with solo ads. It's not my favorite source at the moment. And so Facebook, however, it's awesome. Continues to rock. It's a very easy place to build your email list from.
Cool. Noelle, she asked a very specific question, so I'm going to paraphrase a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit too specific.
All right.
Hi, Anik. Noelle here from Ireland. I work full-time and do some part-time local business consulting. I need to make a big chunk of change to give up my job. I have about a couple thousand spent on learning courses. Initially looking at Instant Impact and Facebook Academy, I also see the value in Inbox Blueprint and Copywriting Academy. What would you do in my situation? Thanks, Noelle. P.S. Love the book, and I've already put 5-star review on Amazon.
Thank you. Appreciate that. You know what? I'm gonna see something. So Noel, I'm gonna answer your question. I love it, and I'm gonna dare to answer it in just a second. Let's see if anybody who's watching this left me a review. Okay, I think one person did. Come on, guys, go to Amazon.com. Help me out. Stuart, do we still have the same 90 plus people, or did anyone new join us?
We are at 171.
Cool. Got a party going on over here. Should have brought lunch and food and everything. All right. Page not loading. So go to Amazon.com, type in Escape Onyxing all into the search bar, click it, go to the review section, leave me a review. Come on, let's hit 150. Then we'll climb to 200. And then maybe one day I'll actually reveal what my real goal is, but I won't tell you that yet. All right, so Noel, great question. Noel basically needs to make Boku bucks. Sounded like pretty fast. Sorry, I'll tell you why I laugh, Noel. Okay, Boku bucks in fast time has $2,000 that she can invest in training and education. So the reason I chuckle, Noel, is because this is common. I hear this question all the time, right? So Noel, what do we teach in C? Catapult, create momentum, right? You gotta learn to focus on breaking down your goals. I'm telling you, I know we all make this mistake. We all say, Onyx, shut up with the mindset stuff and get to the tactics. Tell me what button to click. Let's do this. Please read this book again, because the entire purpose of this book is to get you out of that mindset. Because if you don't get out of the mindset, I promise you, I swear to you, you will not make it. It's not going to happen. So the first question should be, what do you need to, like, what is your first goal? What's the first amount? So I'm just going to volunteer first amount for you, $1,000. I want you to make $1,000, okay? Literally, can you look around you right now to see stuff that you could just sell for $1,000? Like, go to eBay and just sell it. Like, trust me, there's crap in your life you don't need anymore, okay? And the reason I'm doing this is because let's just expand your $2,000 right now. Let's get it so your business has more investment capital. All right. Then it's like, oh, you made $1,000. Now your mind's like, that's cool. Like, we put our head to something, we put our mind to something, and like we did it. So now you're like, all right, I want to make like $2,000, right? So obviously, like, I'm not going to say like sell more shit, because eventually you're not going to have anything to sell. But now you're like, all right, well, what can I do to make $2,000? Personally, I don't know why. And I don't know why this came to me, and this wouldn't come to me for every situation, but you know, the coaching consulting system, I love that. If someone told me that they truly, like, if I get rid of my my mindset lecture, and it was like a really Onyx, like I need to get some cash flux going now. I don't have time to learn all this stuff. I don't have time to do all the technical stuff and all that. Like, I would literally tell you coaching consulting. Because coaching consulting is awesome, because you close a client, here's a cool thing. You can either go after a client, close them for like $1,000 a month. So immediately you have a commitment for multiple months for $1,000 a month. You close 5 of those, boom, you got yourself a full-time income. It's freaking cool, right? It's not that, you got to hustle still, you still got to work hard, but I mean, that could take a while in digital publishing or in e-com. Because remember, in e-com, you hear all these people, right? Oh, I get $10,000 a day in sales. The question you really need to ask them is how much in profit, right? How much in profit? Because they're spending all that, most of it. So $5,000 a month of profit on e-com. It's not like overnight. It's not easy. It takes time. Even then, you got to break it into goals. But coaching consulting, it's not that bad. I mean, or maybe you don't get like $1,000 a month client, but you get like a client that says, "I'll pay $5,000 up front to do this for me." Well, that's just $5,000. Now all of a sudden, you got more capital for marketing. You got more money to buy another course. So what you do is you go buy a Facebook course like Facebook Academy or FB Academy, and then you spend like $700-800 on that, and then you budget out another $1,000 or $1,500 to learn and to do ads. So it's like, what I'm trying to do is expand your budget so that you make some money, and then you expand your budget. So you got to reinvest those profits that you make back into your business. That's how you scale quickly. And that's how you'll get to a large sum. But you got to learn to think of it in chunks. But I don't know, because you asked, for some reason, the message that came to me was to tell you, look into the coaching consulting business model. We have a free boot camp in Learn Nation. So log into Learn Nation and take the free boot camp. If you like it, then there's an academy that you can purchase for, I don't know what it costs, like $1,000 or something. But take the free boot camp first. Make sure you like it, and then invest. Okay?
Michael Spies. Oftentimes, it's hard to keep me on track with my goals for business ideas. If you don't get the right or any feedback from the universe, I am unsure if or when I should keep it on or let it loose a bit. Do you have any strategy or method to help me out on this?
Sure. So there's a chapter in the book, right? So who was this again? What's the name?
Michael Spies.
Michael. All right. Michael's basically asking, like, when's the right time to know if I should quit or not? I mean, if I were to summarize, right? Like, you're doing something, it's not working. How do you know if you should keep doing more of it or whatever? So the chapter that brings my mind that I want you to read, Michael, is chapter 12, page 103. Chapter 12, page 103. It's called Quitting. So the real answer, right? Because I give a story in the book. I call it the red door. So it's like there's a time in my life when I was just moving forward and doing things, and there's a time in my life specifically that I talk about in the red door where I was like trying to sell gift wrapping paper to people, right? Door to door to door, and everyone's saying no, and it sucked. And then I was almost quitting. Like, it was like 9 or 10 no's, and I was about to quit. And then I saw this house at the end of the street, and I was like, wait, let me just go see those neighbors, because they had just moved in. Everyone was talking about them. They painted their door and their shutters this ugly red, and I was like, I want to go see who they are. As a little kid, I was just curious. I was like, I'm already here. Let me just go see who they are. Then I knocked on the door, and I made an offer, and next thing I know, the person behind the door, she was a really sweet old lady. She bought 30 rolls. So, like, I made up for all the 9 or 10 that had said no. Had I just like quit too soon and not knocked on that door, that would have sucked. So I don't have like a statistically valid number here, but if you're gonna do a new business, okay, remember one thing: the chances of it working right from day one, the odds are not in your favor. That's just math. Until you get good. Okay, for example, if I launch a digital product today, the odds of me succeeding at my digital product are like 95%. Why? I've got 15 years of experience. I know how to evaluate things. I know how to build funnels. I got the right team. I know how to do ads. I know how to do conversion and all these cool things. But if you do a digital publishing business today, your odds of succeeding in your first attempt, not your first business, your first attempt, it's like 20%. Because maybe your copy is not good. Maybe your product wasn't chosen right. Maybe your upsells are not priced right. Maybe your members area is not right. Maybe your sales funnels doesn't work right. So I would say you should come up with a number. Like, let's say it's 10 times. So if you try a new business, you have to learn as you go, right? So you have to evolve. So never make the same mistake twice. But just because you try something, like, prime example, I was talking very recently with someone who's in multi-level marketing. And I don't like multi-level marketing personally. It's not one of my favorite models, but that's me personally. I'm never going to argue that multi-level marketers are truly indeed entrepreneurs, because they are. I was talking to them, and they just they were telling me their story. They were doing okay now. They were doing pretty well. They weren't like crushing it, but they're making a few $1,000s extra recurring income. But they said like the first few times they tried, like they just failed miserably. And I was like, well, what kept you going? And they just said, well, it just made sense. Like, we weren't ready to quit yet. It just felt like this was a good model for our family because we just wanted a little bit of extra cushion income. And so they tried one thing and it didn't work, and then they kind of analyzed it, they reverse engineered it, they tried a second thing and then it didn't work, and they're like, But they didn't make the same mistake twice, right? So the second time they made new mistakes, and they're like, okay. So they tried a third time. I think it was like the fourth or fifth time when it clicked and they made like $500. They're like, whoa, something worked. Let's do more of that now. And then they did more and more and more, and they scaled it. Now they're making a few $1,000s a month extra income. And now they're all like, man, we want to go big with this, and we want to quit our jobs, and we want to be full-time this. And so the point to you is maybe the number is like 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever you're comfortable with. But if you do something and it doesn't work, and then you learn from it and you try it again, you evolve, you learn more, and you evolve, and you do it again, and that doesn't work, and then you learn again, and you evolve, and then you do it again, and it doesn't work. How many times can you do that before probably the fault might be more deep, more something that's in the product or in the business, or and maybe you just need to try something different. Yeah, between 7 or 10. But remember, you have to be able to look me in the eye and say that each time you truly learned and you truly evolved and you truly were better, right? So that you can eliminate your lack of knowledge as a potential reason why it's not working.
Nancy, I'm a creative with a unique niche consulting on service dogs with different targets. The disabled displaced dogs, really tough shortage of dogs, and really good for business to understand their liability. I just heard you say to look at the Learn Academy on consulting, perhaps. That will help. If I wanted to teach, what could I possibly teach? I need to monetize. I'm about to launch a podcast and have a product coming out. But is there something in there I could teach?
What is her niche again? That's like a very specific question, but good for you on that. But I just...
So she is at niche consulting on service dogs.
Niche consulting?
No, service dogs is her niche, I believe.
service dogs, right?
Consulting for service dogs.
I mean, you could teach people how to have a better relationship with their service dogs. I mean, I think that's a very intimate relationship, right? So if someone's using a service dog, I've known people that have service dogs. They love their dogs. I mean, talk about an emotional connection. And so you could teach them how to boost that. Like, here's a question for you. You said you're launching a podcast. What are you going to talk about on your podcast? I mean, you're obviously going to be teaching something, right? How to take care of your dog, how to have a better relationship with your dog, how to take care of your dog, health habits for the dogs. Like, these are all amazing things you can teach. You know, I went to PetSmart. This is like a year, 2 years ago. One of our employees had flown in from India, and he has a dog that he loves to death. And he wanted to buy his dog gifts from America when he went before he went back. So we took him to PetSmart, and like I went in, I'm like, holy moly! There's like a whole organic world for dogs, for food. There's organic treats. There's vitamins, and there's prescription plans now. Like, there's like, people treat their dogs in many ways better than they treat humans. So imagine all of the cool things you can teach, right? Because just remember, if you're working and consulting people who have service dogs, they love that dog. And they want that dog to have a comfortable, good, happy, healthy life. How can you help that? Teach that.
Ajit Kumar, I'm confused how to proceed further and take the next step after reading Escape. I want to be an entrepreneur, and I have no idea what to do next. Please help me with this.
What's his name?
Ajit.
A-J-I-T. Ajit. That's what we would say. Yeah, that's all right. Ajit. All right. Simple answer, my friend. Get into Learn Nation. Start doing stuff. Just start doing stuff, okay? This is the only time where I think Gary Vee and I give the same advice. Like, just start. Just go. All right, Nike has it right. Just do it. So I know you were like, well, just do what? Go into Learn Nation. Do you know there's a reason I built this platform? The reason I have so many free courses in there is just start taking them, okay? Take the free course about e-com. Take the free course about email marketing. Take the free course about coaching consulting. Whatever we got in there, take it. As long as it's free, it's not costing you a penny. And you will start to evolve. You'll start to learn what you like, what you don't like, what you're good at, what you're not good at, and then you will answer this question. Don't wait for me to tell you that. Come on, man. There's literally 1,000+ ways to make money. Okay, there's 1,000 different kinds of businesses that you can launch. I can't tell you the answer to that. So the reason you're even asking this question is because you were probably at some point, now again, my job is to call you out, right? And I might be wrong, but typically I'm not. At some place in your life, you're being impatient. You want me to just give you the button. The reason I wrote this book was to tell people one message. There is no button. There is no button. But when you read this book and you actually do it, so you can't just read it once, guys, by the way. That's not how this book was written. It's been written to frequent. It's been written to come back and read different pieces and parts again and again and again, and keep this next to you at your, next to your bed, because I always tell people that if I ever go around signing books, if you ever run into me at an airport or whatever, and you bring this book for me to sign, it better not be crisp and clean. I won't sign it. I want to see it bent up. I want to see it highlighted, penned. I want to see it beat up. Make sure it looks like it's used, because if you truly do the exercises in here, if you truly go through this in the right way, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? You're damn right. What's going to happen is you're going to discover what you need to do. All right? So get into Learn Nation, enroll into some free courses, start getting out there, start doing, start getting experience, and lo and behold, I promise you, I guarantee you, this is my commitment to you, the right business model, the right answer for you, Ajit, will come right from that experience. But it's going to come from the experience, not from me.
Cool. Ryan goes, good day. I'm still reading the Escape book. This is awesome, giving me more insight and wisdom. My problem is I wanted to start a digital publishing, but I don't know where to start. Is there a system like Zero Up?
For digital publishing?
Yes.
Okay, there are a couple courses for you inside of Learn Nation. I love how most answers to most questions for me is like, go to Learn Nation. That's why it was built, and this is a live test that we truly built the most awesome thing in the world. Yes, the most awesome thing in the world. It's better than the iPhone. It's Learn Nation. When you log in, here, let's do this actually. Why don't we just go in and I haven't had a chance to use my screen yet, and we have this fancy technology, so. All right. All right, so we're in Learn Nation. What I want you to do is click on Browse Courses, and I want you to go to View All Courses. And I'm just going to check something, guys. I want to make sure I'm not going to, yeah, cool. Keep dropping this mic. All right, so when you get in here, what I want you to do is I want you to look, I mean, if you only want to do free, you can click on free. But so let's just do that first. So free, I want you to take the, specifically to learn digital publishing, I want you to take the digital startup course. It's free. There's no credit card, nothing. You can see we have 7,000 students in it. So take the digital startup course. And then after that, you really do want to learn email marketing. That'll help a lot. So then take the digital boot camp right here. So about 3,000 students. It's absolutely free as well. There's nothing to pay. Digital startup and then digital boot camp. These are the two courses that'll really teach you the digital publishing model. And then of course we got tons of other things that can like help you with the digital publishing model, like specific, like you might want to take, the 50 niche ideas, and then you'll see some cool stuff we have coming out, like the Amazon boot camp's about to come out. I don't know why it's published because it's not ready yet, but hey, we got 4 students in it. It's not even up yet. So then let's just look at all courses, because we have Publish Academy coming out early October, like I said, but it's right here. It's not live, so you actually cannot purchase this one. But we have Publish Academy 2.0 coming out, and early October it's going to be 50% off. But in the meantime, if you could take these 2 free courses, Digital Startup and Digital Bootcamp, that will really help you and teach you and prepare you for the digital publishing business model.
Cool. Next question. Jimmy Fuentes. Jimmy.
What up, Jimmy?
Can I get a crash course on doing a product launch? Eagle Eyes View execution plan. Also, do you recommend an open, closed launch or an evergreen one?
Jimmy Fuentes, he actually works with us. What's up, Jimmy? Jimmy said, can he get a crash course on how to do a product launch? Is that what he said, right?
Yes.
Cool. Well, Jimmy, when you're moving here in a month anyways, I'll teach you then. No, just joking. That's a big question, Jimmy. So product launch takes months of planning. And actually, it's funny because I actually really think I'm going to create a course on this. I'm very passionate about the idea. It's just I wish I had more time in the day to create this stuff. But let me say this. Most people who teach product launches teach you all about the psychology of doing the launch from the perspective of dealing with customers. So, you know, you've seen it, right, guys? I mean, when we did this book launch, right, you saw me do the pre-launch, giving away a free chapter, leaked chapter, and all this cool stuff, and Facebook ads, and building all this buzz with the customers, the potential future customers. And that's awesome, right? Because a great product launch is all about the buzz that you build. Believe me, it's all about the buzz you build, okay? That buzz just gets momentum. What do I talk about? Stage 2, catapult, create momentum. A great launch is built on momentum and excitement. If you don't got momentum and excitement, your launch is going to suck. That's literally 80% of the battle. But what I do when I do launches is I create momentum and excitement for my affiliates. I focus more energy sometimes on that because they're the ones who in the end are going to create all the excitement with the customers anyways. So if I can get them excited, they will in turn make sure my customers get excited. So there's some stuff I do about launches that's very different than what's taught out there by the top people. And so I do look forward to the day where I kind of publish a course about that. But, you know, there's all these components to address. You know, what technology are you going to use? Are you going to do? What affiliates are you going to get? How are you going to do your advertising strategy? What's your funnel? Launches are about funnels because if your affiliates don't make money, ain't nobody going to promote and you're going to fail from day one. So they're all about funnels. There's so many elements to a good launch, so many elements. Knowing your data, knowing your points, testing your stuff before you launch it, which I don't sometimes always follow. Like I don't test things before I launch, but again, guys, 15 years of experience, I just kind of know if something's going to convert. Like I can look at it and say, yep, that's going to do it. I love the other question, Jimmy. So if I could focus on the second question, which was, do I what was like evergreen launches?
Which is open, closed, or evergreen launches?
Open, closed, or evergreen launches. Which do I recommend? Look, depends on what market you're. Actually, no, it doesn't. Here's the deal. Evergreen's going to win every time. And I use launches. I don't do launches for the revenue. Most people don't realize this. Like when we launched this book, okay, we launched it. Everyone knows. For freaking 3 weeks, this is all you saw. On the internet, everywhere, everyone's talking about it. But if you look at the net money I made, I probably lost money. I didn't make money. I didn't make any profit because between the affiliates, what I got to pay them, and the prizes and all that crap, I don't actually make any money on this book. So that's kind of a challenge. It's a big challenge. A lot of people don't have the ability to do that. But here's why I did a launch. So then people say, well, why'd you do a launch? It's growth hacking to build momentum. most people don't know the true reason I did this launch. Well, first of all, I love the book. I wanted to get the book out there and all of that, right? But we, inside our Learn Nation platform, we went from about 30,000 users to 120,000 in less than a month. Think about the long-term implications of that. They're huge. The amount of profit that'll generate long-term is massive, massive. So, the book wasn't the real reason. I think a big launch should be done because you're trying to growth hack something. You want to get your brand out there. You want to get a big burst of sales. You want to get a big burst of subscribers. You want to build your email list quickly. You want to build your social media following quickly. You want to get some sales and some revenue going quickly. You want to build relationships quickly with affiliates. It growth hacks your business. That's the true purpose of a launch. But evergreen's where you're going to make money. And you know, the world of affiliates is really kind of dying. Like, it's not that easy to run big launches anymore. Very few people can actually do it because they have existing relationships with big publishers or big audiences for a long time. Like, I have existing relationships. I'm blessed that I can call up people and know that they'll promote because I know them for years, right? So coming in and trying to do a launch right from day one is not easy to get the people that actually will support you. Evergreen, man, it's in your full control. Run ads, Facebook, YouTube. There's so many places now to run ads from. So I think, personally, I think that's where the money's at. I think you should really focus on building more and more evergreen funnels. That's where I think Russell Brunson's 100% on point, where he says it only takes one funnel. He's right. It only takes one funnel. You could be making 20, 30 million a year. I know people that have one funnel, one ever webinar funnel, making 20, 30 million a year with it. It's nuts, right? It's doable. Totally doable.
Cool. So Steve Serasio, what is the easiest and best way to create a capture page and funnel?
Steve Serasio, what is the easiest and fastest way to create a funnel? It's almost like I knew your question was coming, Steve, and I mentioned the service before. ClickFunnels. Easiest way, right now. ClickFunnels. SendLane's also got some cool stuff, by the way. If you already happen to be a member of SendLane.com, you can build pages. You can build opt-in pages, and they have an awesome page builder in there. It's free. It's like if you're a member of SendLane, you get to use it for free. And then there's some funnel stuff coming soon too with SendLane. It's not going to be as intricate as ClickFunnels, but there's some funnel stuff coming. But you know, ClickFunnels is a favorite solution for many people, and it's a good solution. So feel free to use it.
Okay, next question. Hallie Peterson. Sorry guys, I know we lost visual temporarily, but we have the screen.
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. We got the screen, yay.
Miss Peterson, my E-score is 74. Understand the importance of the mindset and working hard on it, but inadvertently keep drifting in daily brainstorming and come up with new project ideas from online and offline sources, even when not cluttered with paper and digital sources. Fear is the loss of information useful at a later stage. Would your advice still be that of Mark Cuban, focus on one project first and drop all the others?
Yes, big time. Learned my lesson the hard way there. They can't see me right now, right? It's my screen? Okay. So absolutely, that is a age-old advice that will never, ever, 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 ever go away. And that is that you always only focus on one project, okay? Always only focus on one project at one time, especially when you're just starting. So for me today, in our company and Learn, I'm not just focused on one project. We probably have like 6 going on right now at the same time. But that's okay because I've also got 6 different people leading those projects, right? So it's not me leading all of them. But I really do think that this whole like deep brainstorming strategy that people deploy and they use as a justification process to have lots of ideas, it's literally just a way of delaying execution. That's all it is. It's just a way of delaying execution. So yeah, that's the question. Now, guys, just so you know, for a minute, Stuart has exited the building because we are having a quick technical difficulty, so he's trying to fix that. So I cannot see the questions. Maybe I can. Whoa, baby, that's a lot of questions. All right. Let's see here. Ken Baisa, if I published my digital products, what is your best advice to get more traffic to my products to get more sales? Ken, right here, my friend. Let me show you a couple of cool products that you can participate in. They're cheap. Well, you've got Traffic Geniuses. It's an awesome program that'll give you tremendous ideas. It's like $5. Let's see how much this is. Enroll now. $7. There you go. I would recommend that you go take Traffic Geniuses to learn how to drive traffic to the new business you have up. And then once you take Traffic Geniuses, it'll give you a crash course and you get a chance to think about all the different opportunities that are there. There you go. Again, guys, how many questions have I now? Probably about 60 to 70% of the questions I'm answering. I'm referring you back to Learn Nations. You got to get in there. You got to get in the platform. You got to get active. And so much awesome free stuff. And then there's courses in there that are like $6, $7, $8, $9. And then yes, I have courses that are $500, $600, $700 too. But I'm telling you, like, only take the academy level courses when you are so committed to the process that you've already done the simple ones.
Shinta asks, how do I break out of research mode?
Oh man! All right, so you're gonna read chapter. Man, I feel like I covered all of this in this book. I'm so proud of this book. All right, how do you break out of research mode? You look at chapter. Where'd it go? All right, one sec. Well, I want you to study stage 2, catapult, okay? But I was looking for where I talk about analysis paralysis, and I'm just struggling. I can't find it at the very moment. Well, I talk a little bit about it in Developing Instincts. There you go. Okay, chapter 24. So write these down, okay? This is what's going to help you. Chapter 24 is going to help you a lot. Page 191, Developing Instincts. That's going to have the answer for you to get out of research. Stage 2, all of the chapters inside of Stage 2, which starts on page 115, is all about just getting up and doing something. And then specifically also what I want to help you get out of research mode is chapter 18, No More Tomorrow, page 146. So look at that, all right? And if you don't have the physical book yet in your hands, then look at it online in the digital one. So that, again, the specific parts of the book that apply to you is chapter 24, 191, page 191, Developing Instincts. Chapter 18, No More Tomorrow, page 146. And then specifically, I want you to read and really internalize Stage 2, Catapult, starting page 115.
Cool. So Noelle, the consultant, she reached back. Hi, Anik, thanks for your answer. I've done the consulting bootcamp, so we'll sign up for Instant Impact.
Yes, awesome.
Which course would you complement that course better? Facebook Academy for managing company budgets or Copywriting Academy? Thanks again.
Oh, good question. So she's going to take Instant Impact to learn the coaching consulting business model. And then she said, which course would I recommend to complement Instant Impact the most? FB Academy or Copywriting Academy? That's a tough one. That is one where I got to tell you, Copywriting Academy, because see, here's what's going to happen. When you take Instant Impact, we do teach you a little bit of Facebook ads. We do not teach you nearly as well we teach you inside of FB Academy, but we do give you a little bit. Enough, I think, inside of that program to kind of get you started. The thing is, you're going to start. So this is like the chicken and the egg, right? So, okay, should you first learn how to get leads? Or should you first learn how to close said leads? And so it's like you can learn how to close leads and be really good at closing, but if you don't have any leads, you're going to close. But then you can get tons of leads and not know have a clue how to close them. So what's the point of having all these leads? So I'm going to tell you this. Because I cover some Facebook content in Instant Impact, I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and get Copywriting Academy first, because Copywriting Academy is going to make you a killer on the phone. Like you're going to know how to make the best pages. You're going to know how to get on that phone and close a client. Like it's the deep psychology of selling that is so kick ass in Copywriting Academy that's why I would suggest that. But Facebook Academy would be like very, very close second. All right. So basically, if you go Instant Impact, Copywriting Academy, then right behind it, FB Academy. That's what I would recommend.
Cool. Morris asks, delegating duties and duplicating myself are the most difficult challenges I have in becoming a better leader. How do I overcome them? I don't like I trust anyone enough to delegate. Any practical ideas are appreciated.
Yes. So who's this again?
Morris.
Morris asked, he doesn't like delegating tasks out. It's one of his weaknesses, and basically comes back to he doesn't trust people. So any practical ideas to help him get over this? So it's really funny because someone asked me on a podcast I was doing, they said, Anik, of these 4 stages, like which ones are you currently focused on? And I said, well, when you're scaling a company, when you're scaling a business, you'll focus on A and P, right? You're going to have to hone in your authority, leadership skills, and you're going to have to develop people. That's where I am. So this whole thing of delegation and letting go and trust is truly an issue of mine. Like, it's not an issue, but it's like something I need to improve. So I can really relate with your question. So I was on with my mentor yesterday. I had an hour call with him. And I talked about this. I said, time is of the essence. And so I really want to train my team to make decisions and to do things, in a systematic way. I know that every time I go in and do it for them, I'm actually not helping them, I'm not teaching them, not training them, and I'm building bad habits, right? I'm making them more reliant on me, and I want the opposite. I want them to be less reliant on me. And so how do I do it, though? Because in essence, the core issue I have is the same, right? I have a trust issue because I'm scared that they'll make the wrong decision, and then that'll cost me. So if I'm in a room and I see my team kind of going down the wrong path, even though I want to let them work it out, I get anxious and I'm like, I just got to step in and do this. And his answer to me was awesome. He gave me a really practical strategy and something I'm going to be actively exercising and practicing now. He said, instead of telling them the right way, ask the right questions. So start saying, well, how did you reach that decision? Well, did you consider this? What else did you consider? What other paths would there be? What other choices would there be? And let them come to the conclusion themselves, because that will teach them the right thinking patterns and the right way to think, and then that will be their decision, it will be their conclusion, and they will have that confidence boost, and you will have still been able to get the result. So the reason you're having a tough time trusting people is not actually because you don't trust the person. I have actually come to discover it's probably because you don't understand the processes they use to make their decisions. So you don't actually understand the thinking patterns they go through. That unknown leads us to not trusting someone, because if we don't understand the process, it's like this. If I came and told you, hey, 62% of people are idiots, right? You'd be like, how do I trust your data? Like, how did you arrive at that conclusion? And I'd be like, just trust me. Well, crap, I could just be making that. There's literally, I heard someone say something really funny once. I don't know if this is a digression, but I'm going to say it anyways. They came to me. Was it you, Stuart? Who said to me like 90% of all statistics are made up?
Yeah.
Was that you?
Yeah, I say it a lot.
He says that a lot, right? It baffled me because I was like, really? And he's like, no, I just said 90% of statistics are all made up. I made that up. I'm like, crap. Makes me question every statistic I've ever heard. So now all of a sudden I'm like, well, how did you reach that conclusion? So that's what deep untrust with team members. That's why it's not because you don't trust their capability. It's not because you don't trust their intention. It's just you don't trust because you don't understand their process of reaching a decision. So participate in that with them. Don't do it for them, because you'll still never learn and you'll still never have confidence that they learned. This is, by the way, I make it sound like I'm the master of this, and I'm like, no, I just got schooled on it yesterday, and I'm going to practice this so we can practice it together. But yeah, that you got to develop trust, but you got to develop trust by actually participating, leading, and guiding, not doing.
Cool. This is an interesting question, but I think we got this. Ayokia. Hi, Onik. Thanks for taking time out of this. Thanks for taking time out to do this. I have very little experience with email marketing, and I would like to start off by marketing educational and health-related products. Is it possible to quit my job in the second month of starting if I spend at least 2 hours per day at it? Also, there are a lot of other business opportunities out there, but which one will complement email marketing?
Okay, that was a big question, so I'll summarize it. What was the name again?
Ayoka. Yeah.
We'll call you A.
Hey.
All right. So A asked basically, hey, if I put at least 2 hours a day in to email marketing business model, is it possible that I could quit my job in 2 months? And then what other business models complement the email marketing business model? Okay, so A, the first answer to your question is, I got no idea. Here's why. Let me give you guys all the variables to why I can't answer these questions beyond the legal, right? Like, let's get away from the FTC would never want me to answer that question because, well, it's not, I don't know. But let's get away from all that. Here, I don't know what country you live in. I don't know how much money you need to make to be able to quit your job. I don't know how skilled you are. I have no idea if you've been studying internet marketing for 10 years and know all the different things and just haven't been able to put it together, or if you literally woke up yesterday, bought the book, and now decided you want to be an email marketer. That level of skills you have is going to make a big difference on how quickly you can succeed. I don't know how determined you are, how persistent you are. I don't know the kind of level of support you have in your life. I don't know what niche you're going to go into, what kind of products you want to sell. Like, there's so many variables that I don't have the answer to. So you asked a question, though. Is it possible? Is it possible for me to quit my job in 2 months and go full-time? And yes, it is possible. Absolutely. We've had students do it at Learn. We've had students do killer stuff in Learn, okay? Crazy stuff. Gone off and made, millions in the course of a year. But I've also had tons of students, unfortunately, an overwhelming amount of students, who haven't done that, right? So that's why I wrote this book. It was like a mission to discover, like, why the heck is it that I've taught over 250,000 students and I don't have 250,000 case studies? That was literally the question that led to the research that wrote this book. And so that's why I say that things in this book are foundational. So the tactical side is just not going to work, That alone is not going to do it. I promise you, if all you are doing is focusing on the tactical side of, I will give this 2 hours a day studying email marketing and doing, can I make it? No, I want to ask you, like, 2 hours a day, and then what if it fails? How are you going to react? Are you going to give it 2 hours again the next day? Or are you going to give it 3 hours the next day? Are you going to learn from your mistakes? Are you going to go out and seek help and ask questions? Are you going to build a mentorship group, a mastermind? Are you going to educate yourself? Are you going to spend time watching videos and reading articles? Do you see where I'm going with this? Because all of that's going to make a bigger impact in how your 2 months goes. If every day you're just going to do the same thing again and again and again and keep trying, like, I don't care if you do it for 2 years or if you do it for 2 months. It's not going to work. But if you apply your 2 hours every day appropriately, properly using what I teach in this book, you might be able to do it in 2 weeks. Forget 2 months. So that's the answer to the first question. I hope that answers it for a lot of people. The second question, which was what business models like kind of are complementary to the email marketing model, I think the two that are probably the most complementary that can lead to the most revenue right away is digital publishing and coaching consulting. Because digital publishing, you get to sell products of your own, books, offers, high-ticket products, and then coaching consulting, you literally can mail that list and say, hey, do you want to talk to me for free? Book 20, 30-minute phone calls, get on the phone with them, and then literally you get to close them for big coaching consulting deals.
Awesome. Judy Kiernan. Judy, what stops me from succeeding in an online business is lack of good writing skills. If I had a subscriber list, I don't know how to keep writing good content to maintain the business. Do you know how to solve this problem?
I do. Drum roll, Learn Nation. All right? So you log into Learn Nation and you take a course called Copywriting Bootcamp. It's free. It'll blow your mind. And then, Judy, you invest $700 in Copywriting Academy. And it will change your life. I promise you. I was the worst writer on the face of the planet, and I've come to learn a simple system to becoming a very impactful communicator. It's through what I teach in Copywriting Academy. The other thing I would offer you is go to Amazon. We'll go here together. By the way, let's see if anyone else helped me out by left a review. Yes! 2 more people. Come on, keep them coming. Let's hit 140 before the end of this this session together. Let's see what people said. Nice things, hopefully. Cool. All right. So the book I want you to read, if you look up, it's right here, Email Lifeline. The Email Lifelines, it's a really thin book. It's not a very thick book at all. It's an easy read. It's got some killer reviews. It's got 45 people really like it. It teaches you literally how to do emails, like how to write powerful emails, how to communicate with your audience, how to take them through the psychological flow, and how to monetize it. Like if you see that jagged, thing that looks like a lifeline, it shows you how to monetize your email list. So I'm telling you right now, you take Copywriting Bootcamp, Copywriting Academy, and you read Email Lifeline, and then the last course, if you really want to become a ninja, like a total Jedi of doing email marketing, then we have a course called List Academy. Oh, it's an awesome course. It's Email Lifeline on steroids. but we don't sell it. You can't buy it. It's only available if you buy Inbox Blueprint. So, you know, let me give you the full spectrum. If you want to become a master email marketer, here are the courses you need to take. Copywriting Bootcamp, it's free. Copywriting Academy, it's 700 bucks. Email Lifeline, it's 18 bucks. Actually, if you buy Inbox Blueprint, you get it for free. So basically, it's Copywriting Bootcamp, Copywriting Academy, 700 bucks, and then Inbox Blueprint, that's 1,000 bucks. So for less than 2,000 bucks, for less than 2,000, you can have all the training you could possibly need to become a powerful communicator and a powerful email marketer. Because when you buy Inbox Blueprint, you will get List Academy for free. That's accessible from inside of Inbox Blueprint. So I would still want you to take that course. I mean, this is a good 1 to 2 months worth of education that you need to do. But man, oh man, is it gonna make you powerful? Like it'll be awesome for you.
James asks, hi Onik, what are the critical and necessary tools required when starting out as an online marketer? I have domains and hostings. What are your recommendations for software to capture emails through opt-in, lead pages, and software to track performance? Just trying to get started. Thanks so much.
Sendlane.com, pure and simple. That's what's going to help you build your capture pages. It's going to help you build your email list. It'll help you. There's other tools out there that you might need. So I would also recommend you to go to Learn Nation and take this course, Digital Startup, right here. This would be a good course for you to take. Gets into some of these tools and some of these kinds of really cool things. It's free, so it doesn't cost a penny. But Sendlane, go to sendlane.com right now. Sign up for the lowest cost package, like 20 bucks a month or something, and you get some really cool tools. It's a necessary tool. I don't care. Now, for full disclosure, I own a piece of sendlane.com. I'm a co-founder of it. So I use it. I love it. I'm a user of it too. I'm the biggest user of Sendlane. So I don't just own it, but I literally put my whole business on it, and I love it to death. So I am partial in my review, but essentially you need a good autoresponder. So I think there's other ones out there like Aweber and GetResponse and all these. I just know that Sendlane I can vouch for. I know the deliverability. Their page builder is awesome. The customer support is off. It's just amazing. That I can tell you right now. The customer support you get from Sendlane, you will not get from any of the big boys. We literally, I think our support team responds in an average like 2 to 3 hours. You can do live chat during the day, like literally, like not like with a robot, like a live chat with a human being that will help you address and solve your problem on the spot. So if you want good support, sendlane.com. That's SEND. I'll bring it up here on the website real quick. SENDLANE.com. And if you go to pricing, I'll show you right now. Like literally, just start for 25 bucks a month. You can always, if you start building a bigger list, you can just upgrade over time. You don't have to pay it right off the bat. So we start with 25 bucks a month, and you're going to get page builders and 24/7 support and all this cool stuff.
Cool. Give me 1 second. Mustafa, hi Onik. I'm looking for techniques on how to build my network and traffic, as I am about to start selling physical products. How can you help me on this?
Should I? Do you want to say it for me?
Learn Nation.
Yeah. So he's asking. He's about to sell physical products. He wants to know how to learn to drive traffic to it. So funny enough, again, the answer really is Learn Nation. We got the stuff in here, guys. Here, look. Learn Nation. You go in, and the course I would take. So here's the courses I would recommend. There's FB Bootcamp. That's going to teach you. Look, when you're selling physical products, Facebook's going to be your best friend. There's some cool Google stuff too. We don't have Google in here yet. And then there is Zero Up. Nothing can teach you better how to sell physical products on the internet than Zero Up. It's 1,500 bucks. It is worth every ounce, every penny, if not 10 times that. So I would highly recommend get into Zero Up. And then there is a couple of really cool free courses, okay? So let me show you these free courses. Ecom Millionaire 101 is by Dan Da Silva. Awesome course. I just dropped it again, didn't I? That's cool. All right. Ecom Millionaire 101. Awesome course. It's absolutely free. Traffic Geniuses, that's good. It's not really ecom specific, but it's like $7, so you can't go wrong. I'm trying to look for the boot camp. We have another ecom boot camp in here that's free. So just look through I really want you guys, like I feel like I should tell everybody who's watching, like I challenge you today to go and log into Learn Nation, guys, and at least get into some free courses, because a lot of the questions you're asking, I literally spent millions of dollars building an entire platform to answer your questions. You got to get in there.
So, how can I become a great sales professional? Any book or course you want to recommend?
To become a good sales professional, to like learn how to sell. Yeah, there are some cool books. So if you guys want, you can follow me on Goodreads. I read a lot. So let's pull up my Goodreads profile, and I'll use it to jog my memory as to like which books are going to be really good for learning how to sell better. So one sec here. There was a really good book I read about how to manage sales teams, but that doesn't apply here. Okay, you ready? There's a book called Yes! 50 scientifically proven ways to be persuasive. Awesome book if you want to learn to sell better. That was something I recently read. And then there is, you know what? This is good. You need to learn neuro-linguistic programming. Read a couple of books on NLP. Just go to Amazon and type in NLP. It stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Some really neat stuff. A lot of my webinars, by the way, where I sell stuff, I use a lot of NLP in them. And obviously it works very well. There's a specific book, I can't remember the name. It's Getting to Yes. That was a good book. Short read, real short book. Negotiating agreements without giving in. It was a good book on like just kind of going back and forth and getting someone to do what you want. And honestly, if you want to learn to sell better, I would point you also. I would really say this. So I gave you a couple of good books, but I'd point you to Learn Nation again, and I would tell you to go to Copywriting Bootcamp. Copywriting Bootcamp is, it's going to be a great place for you to be. Copywriting Bootcamp.
Keith goes, I purchased the original Inbox Blueprint in 2014. Is there a significant difference in content between 1.0 and the current version of Inbox Blueprint? If so, is there any discounts?
There's a huge difference. You definitely want to take Inbox Blueprint 2.0. Like you want to get, the difference is so big that we don't even call it Inbox Blueprint 2.0. It's like we got like rid of the first edition. There is a discount, and I got to be honest with you, buddy. That campaign was run like 2 years ago, where we were giving discounts to 1.0 members to upgrade, and it's not there anymore. But I tell you what, the best option I can tell you is go to just send an email to support@learn.com. So support@LURN.com. Ask them. They're really nice people over there. So maybe they'll figure it out for you. We did run a campaign a long time ago, like seriously, like 2 years ago, and so it expired. But maybe the code is still live, or there's something they can do for you.
Okay. Paul, hi, Onik. I just recently graduated from college and have no idea what I wanted to do until I came across Learn.
Awesome.
Entrepreneurship has intrigued me and is something I want to pursue. I have purchased some of the Learn courses and studying with the free time I have. My goal is to go to the Learn Center to seek mentorship and coaching to guide me further to educating myself. However, it will take me a while to accumulate the funds to go to Learn. Do you have any advice on what to do? Seek one-on-one mentorship where I can get experience for the time being and further educate myself? Also, would you recommend buying copywriting or Facebook traffic first? I want to run my business before the end of this year. Yes, thank you for the valuable content. You have inspired me to own my own badass company one day.
Awesome. This is a really long question to summarize for everybody. College kid, Paul?
Paul, yes.
Paul just graduated college or is still in college?
He just graduated.
Just graduated college, didn't know what he wanted to do, found Learn, now wants to be an entrepreneur, loves it, wants to have his own badass company, as he said. And he really wants one-on-one mentorship. So the first question he had asked was, how do I get a one-on-one mentor quickly without a lot of money? And the second one was, what was the second question? 2 parts.
Would you recommend buying copywriting or Facebook traffic?
All right, second question is easier. By far, if it ever comes between copywriting or Facebook, it's 100% Copywriting Academy, okay? Because Copywriting Academy, you go through that, you understand the buyer psychology, it just makes you 10,000 times better at doing Facebook ads. So it comes first. It's foundational, guys. Copywriting is foundational. That's one of the messages I'm out there trying to teach the world. Copywriting is foundational. It literally means I don't care what kind of business you're running, it's buyer psychology. It's psychology driven. So it's foundational. So yes, copywriting first. Mentorship, right? How to get a mentor quickly without, look, you don't have to pay for mentors. Some of my best mentors actually paid me. Like I was an intern for them or whatever. And so mentors are not, I've never had a mentor. I've probably had over 10 mentors in my life, like impactful mentors. Some I've paid a lot of money. Like recently, nowadays, typically my mentors are defined time, 6 months. I bring a consultant on, they become my mentor for a certain topic. I pay a bunch of money. I pay them like 50 grand, 100 grand, but then like I make millions from it. So I have the ability to pay now, so I do it. But back then, when I first started 15 years ago, no, one of my mentors was free. The other mentor actually paid me because I was an intern for them. But none of my mentorship relationships ever started with me going and saying, hey, Joe Blow, would you like to be my mentor? Like, that doesn't happen. Mentorship relationships are very organic. They just kind of happen to be. So what I would tell you is get involved in a lot of communities, virtual or on-site. So if, like for example, you said you want to come to the Learn Center to get some guidance and mentoring. Are you nearby? If you're nearby, you should show up at every event we do here. I don't care what time it is, what day it is, what you have planned. You prioritize it. Get over here, meet people, shake hands, collect cards, start talking to people. What's going to happen is you're going to connect with someone who, oh, can I take you to coffee? Can I take you to lunch? Can I take you to dinner? Now, by the way, this doesn't mean you all come running to me asking me these questions. This always happens when I teach this. Because obviously I already have a lot of people that I mentor. And again, everyone I mentor, it never started with Onyx and Gall, would you be my mentor? It literally was, we got to know one another. I got to see they're super serious. Maybe they were in one of our programs. Maybe I met them at an event. It was organic. It just happened. We became friends, built a relationship, and now I'm mentoring them. Or in many cases, some people who actually join us and join our team here. They work at Learn, and then obviously I get to mentor them through my role at the company. But I would say, get involved in LinkedIn, man. Start connecting with people. Like literally just start messaging people. Don't ask for stuff. Don't ask them immediately for stuff. This is the most annoying thing in the world. Like tell someone something nice that you saw a YouTube video, a training, and you saw them at an event and appreciate them for it. And in some cases, man, just ask like, hey, I would like to learn from you. I will work for you for free. Like, I will relocate myself. I'll figure it out. I'll find a way. Like, I'll work like a night job. Like this is what shows me hustle. This is the kind of stuff I start to appreciate. Someone's like, I would like to work for you. I won't charge a penny. I just need a desk. I'll move to your place. I'll work for like 8 hours a day or 6 hours a day, and then I'll have a second job. Like I'll go work somewhere else to pay the bills, and I'll use that. Like that's hustle right there. Like that. What do I have to say no to? That'd be like dumb to say no, right? So come up with and I'm not saying do that. I'm not saying you have to move. Maybe you can talk to someone virtually, like someone on LinkedIn you connect with who's like a professional in a space that you want to master. And you tell them like, I'll work from home. Like I can't move. I live at home with my parents, but like I don't have to charge you a penny. Like I just want to learn from you. Can you give me a 3-month internship to work for you? Now that is how mentorship relationships are born. You gotta get creative. But what I find with a lot of people is they're not willing to sacrifice to learn. I was. Education and learning for me was absolutely the first most important thing. And then I knew money will come, and that's exactly what happened. I've sold over $200 million worth of products online, and I'm telling you right now, that's what happened.
Good. Brian Jackson, what are your thoughts on starting an online business selling products online? Which type of business would you recommend? A dropshipping business or an arbitrage type?
I have no idea. The answer to that is that you have to really do a full introspection on yourself, because I don't know who you are. I don't know how you are. So the question was basically, do I recommend a dropshipping business, an arbitrage business, or what kind of business do I recommend? And so the answer I always give to that is we do have some help coming for that soon. We actually have a really cool assessment that you'll be able to do inside of Learn Nation, where you actually take this like series of tests, like you did the eScore. It'll be like that. But at the end, the system will process your answers and come back and say, based on your answers and who you are, we think you should first explore this business model. Congratulations, here is a free course to this business model. Go enroll in it, go explore it. If you like it, buy our academy. But if you don't like it, then go take another free course. This is number 2. We recommend you take maybe this free course and learn about this business model. If you like it, then buy the academy. If you don't, then here's the third business. Like, so we were trying to structurize as much as we can, but we're getting there slowly. We're not there yet. For now, what I would recommend to you is go into the Learn Nation platform and enroll for free into the course called Digital Startup. Digital Startup will give you a crash course through many courses. It'll be a crash course through many, not courses, many different types of business models. And then from there, I'm telling you right now, one will sing to you. Everybody's different though. There's going to be people watching right now that'll make tons of money by being a copywriter for companies. There's going to be people watching right now that make tons of money with Amazon, tons of money with e-commerce, digital publishing, coaching consulting, multi-level marketing, blogging, email marketing as an affiliate. Like, come on, I could literally, I mean, I could spend the next hour just naming business models to you that all work. They're all amazing, but it takes the right, which is right for you. That's the key question.
Stefan, I have all the prospecting tools for getting local businesses and selling them digital services. Is there something you can advise how to convert even better? Would you recommend sales funnels on websites or simple phone mail conversions? Thanks.
Nothing beats a simple phone mail conversion. You know, we have an entire team here. We have an entire team of advisors. That team is about to become about 20 people deep that literally are there. Our students call, they get on the phone, they give advice, and then in the end, they recommend products and services and coaching and mentorship programs we have, and they sell those programs, and they convert like crazy because there's nothing, listen, in the day of the digital, when it comes to selling people coaching and consulting, there's nothing better than personal connection because you're selling yourself, right? Look, I can sell a product digitally because it's the product. But if I'm selling myself, someone's gonna be like, can I talk to you? Like, imagine selling a car without allowing anybody to test drive it. Like, how confident would you be in buying a car if they were like, nope, just trust us, buy the car. You can't even see it, forget that. Here's a picture of it. You wanna buy a car? You'd be like, no, I wanna take it for a spin, I wanna make sure I like it, I wanna see how it fits, I wanna see how it drives, I wanna see how it feels. So if you want to sell someone you're the product, coach, consultant, you are the product, let them experience you. If they're local clients, meet them at the coffee shop. You'll close deals like this. Get on the phone as a minimum. Get on a Skype call, Zoom call, share screens. Zoom is what? I don't know, $50 a month or something? Literally, you could get on a Zoom call and they can see your face and you can see their face. You could read them. You could do all the psychological triggers that you want to do to close a deal. So I definitely recommend that is what we teach in coaching consulting. So go and take the coaching consulting boot camp. It's free. Take the coaching consulting boot camp, and then if you like it, I really encourage you to enroll into Instant Impact, and you'll see in that everything we teach for coaches and consultants. It's about getting a lead, getting a phone lead, so you can call them and talk to them, and then through that advice you give them, through the value you create on the phone, they sell themselves and they end up buying whatever and paying you whatever you want.
Judy, hi Anik. I'm wondering why folks don't just buy products straight from Alibaba or AliExpress versus paying more to buy through my e-com store. Thank you.
That's a great question. They just don't know. Literally. So Judy, how come you bought Escape? Why didn't you just watch countless hours of YouTube videos and put together the content yourself? Right? Like, I mean, if you really, really dig in the internet, I bet you could find some lessons on each of the things I teach in this book. Right? You don't know. You don't know where to go. Where do you go? Like, how do you look? So most people just don't know that they can go to AliExpress and buy the same products. They actually have no idea. But AliExpress is pretty smart. So they're out there. They're letting people know now. They're starting to market, and there's other platforms like them starting to show up. So that's why I always say, like, if you're only, I don't know, I love e-com, but I always am worried about e-com. Like, I don't like saying e-com's a good long-term solution unless you are branding your products, creating products, inventing products. Like, I have a product I've invented that I'm like waiting to patent. Like, that's cool. Like, that'll be a cool e-commerce store because I'm the only person in the world that can have that product. So I have job security. But you're right. Like, people can buy from these sources, and slowly these sources are getting out there and getting more public. And so in time, I would like to see, if you want to protect your e-com store, I'd like to see you promote and sell things that are more personalized, that are more unique, so that AliExpress can't put you out of business.
Nancy goes, Onik, I need a website. Plan to put up a leading page with opt-in offers for the podcast launches in 2 weeks. But ultimately, I need a good website. I'm not tech oriented, nor do I have the time as a solopreneur launching a podcast and producing a pet product. I'm as full as I can get without a team right now. Any quality resources you can offer for a developer that would work with me?
Got it. So the question is by Judy?
Nancy.
No. Nancy. She wants to launch a website, needs help, doesn't have the time to do it herself, is fully tapped out. She's asking if I know any reasonable resources or good resources to use. So the answer is, for me, I don't, because all of my work is done in-house. Like, I've hired people full-time. So obviously we don't contract them out or anything like that. We're too loaded. But I can tell you how I found them, and there's some great places. I love Upwork. Write that down. Upwork. UPWORK.com. Upwork. Love it. Love it. Love it. Awesome. Okay? Go use Upwork. They're a great place to go. Freelancer.com for like simpler work, simpler tasks. Freelancer.com. I love that too. If you're looking for more consistent work, like you want video editing or you want your podcast edited, like you want like more work like that, design work that you feel like it's going to constantly keep coming up and up, and so you want someone to work for you full time, but not charge you thousands of dollars that they charge in Western salaries, go to onlinejobs.ph. That's PH as in penthouse, but that's not what it stands for. It stands for Philippines, I think. So online jobs, one word, online jobs, one word, .ph for Philippines. It's an awesome directory where you can hire people from Philippines. Now, look, a lot of people on that directory are not good, so you have to do your due diligence. You have to look at their reviews, and you have to interview them. But we're talking about people that'll do quality work for a few bucks an hour. You got video editors on there, designers on there, technicians on there. You got social media experts on there. You got salespeople on there. You got people that know how to source leads for you to get you leads to call and sell your services. I mean, it's a pretty cool world. You got SEO specialists on there. You got traffic generation specialists on there, conversion specialists. I'm not a big fan of the copywriters and stuff I get on there because English isn't their first language, but they're there for simple work. They're there. There's a lot of great stuff there. So Upwork.com, Freelancer.com, and then, of course, onlinejobs.ph if what you're looking for is more consistent work that's going to keep popping up again and again. Go to onlinejobs.ph. You can hire a full-time person for like $400 or $500 a month.
Cool. Terrell, I have done programming as a hobby for many years. I have done a lot of programming in Python. I have an idea about consulting and creating a course teaching Python. I have none of the traditional credibility indicators. How do I bootstrap that social proof?
Oh, I love it. Terrell basically asks, he wants to start teaching coding. He's really good at Python, and he says, but I don't have all those credibility boosters. Like, he doesn't have like a PhD in it. He doesn't have like thousands of hours of already teaching record, blah, blah, blah. So how does he growth hack? How does he bootstrap his social proof? It's awesome. Do it for free for like a month. All right? Build a YouTube channel, start putting some free training on there, start getting subscribers. That'll start building your email list. YouTube would be like a killer place for you. I bet you YouTube's got a huge audience of people that will come running to you because you just title your videos by like teaching them what you're doing. Do it for free. Like, literally teach 6, 7, 8 people for free, get video testimonials from them, written testimonials along with their picture. Bam, social proof. That's enough. That's more than enough social proof to get sales coming, and then over time be ferocious about getting testimonials from people. So we sold 25,000 copies of this book, and right now I'm literally, right? Like, so let's check Amazon. Like, I've been nagging you guys about, go right now, leave a review for the book. Like, I'm going to be ferocious about getting reviews of this book. So we're at 136. So we picked up 6 of them while we were doing this webinar or this training. So, but you'll see in about a week or 10 days, I'm going to do a huge campaign just to get testimonials for this book. So my goal is to cross 1,000 total testimonials between comments and feedback on social media, on Facebook, between video testimonials submitted to YouTube, and between testimonials put on Amazon, and selfie pictures. And we're gonna be asking for everybody, and you'll win like really cool stuff. So we'll basically say, if you do this, you are guaranteed a prize XYZ, but only the first 1,000 people. So we're going to collect a crap load of selfie pictures so that for our website, we can have all that awesome social proof up, so that it'll just help increase the conversions, get the buzz out about the book. So I'm going to be ferocious moving forward at Learn about just collecting stories, feedback, testimonials, and that's how you build social proof.
Nina, hey Onik, great book. In my bag all the time. If you can, explain network marketing. How different is it from an MLM? Thanks.
I don't know. Nina, thank you for your compliment about the book, and thank you for carrying it around with you. It's kind of cool, right? It's like a little me is always with her. Nina, so the question Nina asked is, what's the difference between network marketing and multi-level marketing? What's the difference between network marketing and MLM? I don't think there is. Let's Google this. All right. I don't actually know. I don't know that much about this stuff. So you guys will see. Look, let's ask questions and seek help. What is the difference between network marketing and MLM? I really think it's the same. Pyramid schemes have okay, that's wrong. Let's not even go over there. What's the difference? Someone asked this on Quora. Let's see. The best answer says there's a difference between network marketing and multi-level advertising. Today, however, a growing number of people are grouping both business models together, so they're almost thought as synonymous. That's me. That's what I thought. And it's important that you fully understand the idea of network marketing and the power behind it. Blah, 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 blah. Network marketing sometimes is known as direct sales, a business model which does away with the middleman. I'm too lazy to read this, but now onto multi-level marketing. In a nutshell, it's network marketing on steroids. Okay, basically they're the same, it's just different approaches. As an independent distributor in the MLM business, you're you're invited to build your own sales force of individuals that will promote your products. So I guess in multi-level marketing, you don't just sell the product, you recruit people to sell the product on your behalf, and then you get like a little share of all of it. Maybe with network marketing, it's not quite so team building focused. I gotta be honest with you, I think they're pretty similar though. So they definitely don't. There was a new thing that came out that I did participate in recently, and then I quit. Like recently, as in like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It was called hybrid marketing. And I was like, honestly, even when I did that, I just thought that the network marketing and MLM marketing industry had gotten such a bad name, such a bad rep, that they created a new term called hybrid marketing. It was just multi-level marketing. But a little bit more focused maybe on product sales. So according to this article, that would make it more like network marketing. So anyways, they're about the same, Nina. I wish I had a better answer, but they're about the same.
Tina asks, can anyone join LearnNation, or is it by invitation only now? I share Learn to friends and plan to promote it further. How can I be an affiliate for Learn? Will it be by course or just one affiliate link for all courses?
Who's this as?
Tina.
Tina, great question. Thank you so much for wanting to support us and help us get the LearnNation platform out to the world. Right now, you obviously have a login, right? Because you bought the book, so everyone who buys got a login. We're still in what we call alpha mode, probably for another 3-4 months. We're waiting for a brand new user interface. It's beautiful. It's gonna, I can't wait till it comes live. But it's gonna take 3-4 months to make it go live. It's like a big beast of a project. So, in that time, we are still letting people in every day, a few hundred people every day, because we want to keep growing it and keep testing it and seeing how it's worked and keep optimizing and making it better and better. I'll give you guys a secret entrance backend URL. It's a hack. So it's learn.com, LURN.com/register. All right? Learn.com/register. If you give that to anybody, it's basically the backdoor entrance into the Learn platform. But it's not like, we don't have an affiliate program for it yet. So Tina, to your question about how to become an affiliate for Learn, if you go to escapejv.com, so escape as in the book, escapejv.com, you can sign up for our temporary affiliate program that is only for this book. All right, escapejv.com. You can sign up for the temporary affiliate program that is only for this book. It expires at the end of the month because we're switching over our systems. We're moving over to Salesforce, so all the links that you get, if you want to promote the book in the next few days, like next week or two, then that's great. Go join escapejv.com. For future long-term affiliates, I actually don't know yet what exactly we're going to do. We've been kind of debating it. We built a really cool CPA platform just for this. So what we decided to do was we would actually reward you for every member you send to LearnNation. Like, let's say you get like $5 or $6 just for a free membership. It's pretty cool, right? Like, you could probably send quite a few free memberships. But it gets tricky for us to like pay long-term commissions on all sales in the platform. That gets really tricky. But we haven't said no to that yet, so we're thinking about it. We're just kind of thinking about which way we want to go, which direction we want to go in. In the future, we'll let you know as we decide that. Thanks for asking.
Follow-up. Cheryl asked, upwork.com, freelance.com, and what was the third resource?
Onlinejobs.ph. Onlinejobs, plural, .ph.
Cool. Ramses goes, I want to begin the digital marketing business, but I do not know where to start. Is Circle of Profit a good start to know the difference between all the online businesses and the courses in the Learn Nation?
No. It's Learn Nation, a course called Digital Startup. That's the right place to go. Absolutely free, no money. You can go through the course in a few days if you put in all the effort. Circle of Profit's an awesome free book, guys. I mean, go grab it. You pay like $8. It's a cool book. It's one of my top selling books. People love the book. People have told me it changed their life. But it's very devoted to a particular business model. It's devoted to the digital publishing and email marketing business model. So if your real goal is to get a full reign of like what all is out there, then you got to go to learn.com and register into the course called Digital Startup. That is going to give you kind of like that introduction to like all the different business models out there. Stuart, quick question: how many people are still on?
168.
All right, everyone's still on. All right, we're gonna hang out together for another 15, 20 minutes, guys, and then we'll cut it off. And I'm happy to do this again in the future. Like, I don't mind. We'll invite everybody. I love talking about this stuff, especially whatever's in this book. So, but just between you and I, I'm getting really hungry. So, another 15, 20 minutes, and we'll cut it off.
Judy asked, Judy Kiernan, is there a way to promote a successful Christian coaching business? Even though when I look up Christian coaching on Keyword Planner, the number of searches is low.
Yeah, tons. Like Facebook. Honestly, here's what you do, okay, Judy? So you got to build your pages, right? So if you have to take Copywriting Academy for that, go do that so that you can have good pages that explain what you're doing and what you're teaching and what you're coaching and what your services provide and how much, blah, blah, blah. And then you want to pick up a lead. So take Copywriting Academy, take Instant Impact. I'm telling you right now, you take these programs, we will teach you exactly how to build this business. If you're asking me if Christian coaching is a good business, yes, it is. It's a hugely awesome business. So what I would do is if you were doing Facebook marketing for this, right, is I'd go to Facebook, and in the qualifiers, I believe you could target by religion, so you can target Christians, right? And then I would add other targeting on there, like entrepreneurs, so Christian entrepreneurs. So that way, it will only show it to people who are entrepreneurs and are also Christian. And so now your messaging and your ads and your targeting will say, like, how to apply the teachings of Jesus Christ to your business and to entrepreneurship. How cool is that? Like, how specific does that message get? And then they land on your page, and you're like, I can coach you on how to become a better entrepreneur using the teachings of the Bible. And bam, I'm in. Like, people are in, right? And so then they'll say, get a free 15-minute phone call with me. And so they'll book their free 15-minute phone call, and then you'll use exactly the script and process that you learn in Instant Impact. You'll use exactly that process in Instant Impact to call them and sell them and close them and then become their coach. So it's totally doable. It's actually a lot simpler than you probably think, but you don't have access to the right information. So actually, the very first things you should do is take the Coaching Consulting Bootcamp. It's inside Learn Nation. It's free. Take the Copywriting Bootcamp. It's free. Depending on your budget, I highly advise you buy Instant Impact. It's $1,000. I highly advise you buy Copywriting Academy. That's $700. So your total budget is so far is $1,700. It's less than $2,000. That is more than enough. That together, those two things together, will empower you to get what you need to start going. You don't need to buy FB Academy right away because there is some Facebook training inside of Instant Impact. And then when you want to like put your FB advertising on steroids, you would buy FB Academy. But right now, like between Instant Impact and Copywriting Academy, that's $1,700. You can get started.
I have been feeling stuck since lately. Been done myself a lot. What should I do to start and gain the momentum to start my business?
Something small. If you feel stuck and you're losing confidence and you're starting to get down on yourself, give yourself like tiny goals that are very easy to achieve. So a prime example, someone who wants to be able to, run a marathon. What's the first thing they're going to do? You think they're going to walk out the first day and start running until they hit whatever, 12 miles, 25 miles, or whatever they're supposed to do? They'll die. And they'll be so discouraged because they'll probably quit after the first and be like, oh my God, I'm supposed to do 25, I only did one, I suck. So I recommend this. If you are like, then it depends on like how down and out you are. If like you're super down and out, then your goals have to get even smaller so you can really rev up that momentum. So maybe the first thing I would tell someone who wants to eventually run a marathon is like, okay, tell you what, why don't you go outside and run for 5 minutes? That's it. Doesn't matter how long you make it, how far you make it. Just like run for 5 minutes. Start the timer, run for 5 minutes, and then stop, and then you walk back home. I want you to do that for a week. That's it. Nothing more. Don't even think about, don't stress about, don't worry about the marathon. Don't think, oh my God, how am I going to get from 5 minutes to hours? Let's not worry about that. Let's just 1 week, 5 minutes, do it for a week, come back. So that's using the eating an elephant methodology that I teach in this book. So you need to eat enough. You need to eat an elephant, but you need the bites to be very, very small when you're feeling down and out. So in the world of online business, what is one thing that you have full control over that you could totally guarantee that you will absolutely win and complete and finish so you can get positive momentum? How about you give yourself a goal that for the next 7 days, you will spend at least 30 minutes inside of Learn Nation taking a course, learning. And you will build positive momentum. You will every day have that positive feeling of, yeah, I did it. I committed to myself I would do something, and I did it. And you have full control over it. Nothing can really hold you back from logging into Learn Nation and taking a course for 30 minutes a day. And that's not a ridiculous expectation. It shouldn't require you moving your life around. And then the next week, the next 7 days, you'd say, all right, I did that. Now let me pick it up a little bit. You know what? I really liked what I was learning about copywriting, so I'm going to like spend this week 45 minutes a day learning about copywriting. So you see you get more specific, a little bit bigger goals, more specific. Man, I'm telling you, you do that, you're going to, the momentum, it's literally like starting a lawnmower. If you've ever watched someone starting a lawnmower, they're like cranking, and they're cranking, and then like the third or fourth one, it goes, and it turns on. So that first week would be the first crank. The second week will be the second crank. Maybe another week will be the third crank. And before you know it, bam, it's going to turn on. And you'll start to like figure out, like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. But you'll start having a culture of celebration. You'll start seeing win after win after win. That's what we're looking for.
How you doing with time?
We're good. About 10 more minutes?
Okay.
Yeah, take 3 more questions.
So Rudy asks, hi Anna, I'm not a person who likes to work under a person, so I'm having an idea of opening my own business. What are the tips you can give to build up my own business? Is it a side effect? I don't want work under a person.
This right here. Look, you need to do the e-score first. Okay, go to learn.com/quiz. Learn, LURN.com/quiz. QUIZ. The reason I say that is because when you take that quiz, you're going to learn whether you should truly be an intrapreneur or a traditionally defined entrepreneur having your own business. Just because you don't like to work under the current person you work under doesn't necessarily mean that you should be starting your own company just yet. You might just work for the wrong person. All right, we got a lot of intrapreneurs here at Learn. Tons of people that take ownership over their own departments, run with it, work hard, are compensated accordingly and rewarded for their hard work and blah, 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 and they learn and they love being part of the bigger infrastructure where they don't have to worry about HR and expenses and how the lights stay on and money, but they get to be artists, like they get to master their trade and just focus on that, right? Lots of people that do that. So that might be a great, great, great place for you to be. But maybe it's not. Maybe what you should be doing is having your own business and your own company. The only way is you really got to take the e-score. So go to learn.com/quiz, take that test, see what it comes back and tells you, and then please read this book. And join me in the masterclass. Go to learn.com/masterclass, MASTERCLASS, masterclass, one word, all lowercase. Learn.com/masterclass, $600. Join me for 12 weeks, literally 12 weeks, $600. I'll coach you every week and walk you through this book in a webinar-based, like this kind of environment. And that's how you're going to determine whether you should really have your own business or whether you should work for someone else's business or whatever's right for you. What's that?
So someone asked about circle of profit. Alright, so I have a few questions regarding phase 1 of the circle of profit. Is the opt-in landing page is hosted on the domain I select myself using GoDaddy type a service, or it is done by the autoresponder like SendLane?
Do it with SendLane. It's easy, nice and easy. When you're first starting, eventually you could do it on your own, have your own page, blah blah blah. But today, so literally, I need to update that book, by the way. Like it's time to write a third edition of Circle of Profit because the technologies have changed, the world has changed. You know, when I first wrote first draft of Circle of Profit, like, I don't even think ClickFunnels was just getting started, right? SendLane did not have a page builder. There's so much new cool stuff that's happened. So I do plan on writing a third edition of Circle of Profit just to put it out there and get people the valuable information they need. But yeah, just use SendLane, use their page builder, let them host it for simplicity of starting. Or if you're an Inbox Blueprint member, we have Launchpad. Launchpad will build your pages too and host it for you. So up to you. All right, one more question.
One last question. Nancy asks, how technically difficult is it to have a camera on you like you do now and integrate it with my podcast? I have a Logitech setting here ready to go, just leery of the learning curve and messing up the podcast with too much tech out of the gate. Yeah, I hear adding video and YouTube can accelerate authority. That's what I need.
It's not hard at all. So how I'm doing it is probably way more complicated than you need to do it with, right? So essentially what you're asking when you say, how do I add video to my podcast? You know, the real question you're just asking is, how do I do video, right? It's because you could pull the audio out of of that video feed, and then you have an audio podcast, and then take the video and put it up on YouTube, and then you have a video podcast. I have a Logitech right here too. It's sitting right here. It's $100, awesome camera. Literally all you need is a software. So if you have a Mac, you can use something called QuickTime Player to record you. I think it's free on Mac. Awesome video quality, awesome audio quality. If you're doing a podcast, you need a good mic. So this is a Rode Podcaster. I love this mic. I think it's $300 with the whole stand and everything. Super quality mic. This is not what I'm using right now. I'm using a lapel mic, but you don't want to work off of the audio of this, the Logitech. It's bad. The Logitech camera itself is a couple $100. So we're talking about $300 for the Logitech for this Rode Podcaster, $200 for a great high quality webcam, maybe a light, like $50, $100 for a lighting kit. So we're up to like, I don't know, $500 so far or something like that. And then you need a software. So if you have a Mac, you can use QuickTime Player, or I like using on Mac. I like to use ScreenFlow. It's a $100 or $200 software. For like, you can literally build an awesome studio for less than $1,000. So you can use a software called ScreenFlow, or you can use on PCs. You can use a software called Camtasia. I haven't used a PC in like a decade, so I don't know anything more than that. But you can Google it. It's called Camtasia, C-A-M-T-A-S-I-A. So Camtasia. These are Camtasia is like $100 too. So these are software that will allow you to either record your screen or your face. So you would plug your Logitech into the computer. That software will recognize the Logitech video feed, turn it on, use your podcasting thing to record the audio. You got yourself a video podcast. What I'm using right now to go live, to stream live, that's a separate. So do you need to record a video that you can then later upload, or do you need to record something, or do you need to stream it live? Because right now I'm live. Those are two different setups, and so the live setup is we use a really cool thing called Sling Studio. I think it's at slingstudio.com.
Yep, or Amazon.
Or Amazon, yeah. You can go to Amazon and type in Sling, like S-L-I-N-G, Sling Studio. It's $1,000. This thing is freaking cool. It's really cool. We love it. I wish I knew about it a couple years ago to save myself tens of thousands in other equipment. But Sling Studio, $1,000. If you want to do lives, though, you don't need it if you don't need to do lives. And you do need someone else to operate it. Like right now, I got Stuart. Stuart's operating it, right? Like he's mixing back and forth and stuff like that. So it's a more complicated setup, but it's pretty cool. All right, we're good. Listen, guys, it's been absolutely awesome being here, hanging out with you, answering some questions. Hope you guys got tremendous value out of this. We will put a replay of this up and live. Couple of things, so if we could switch over to my screen, please, one more ask, guys. If you could go to Amazon.com, go and type in Escape Bionic Singal, pull up this page. Please click on the reviews, leave a review for me for the book. We got 137 now, so if you haven't done so, please do so. Thank you, Lynn. Lynn said, best book on entrepreneurship I've ever read. So please go here, and if you could do this for me, it would mean the world to me. Go to Amazon.com, type in Escape Bionic Singal. Leave a review. Learn.com, LURN.com/masterclass. If you want to do literally what we're doing right now, you want to do this for 12 to 16 weeks together, LURN.com/masterclass, all lowercase. $600. Every week I get on, I coach you through every nook and cranny of this book. Go do it. I'm telling you, if you're serious about your entrepreneurial career, you will be in that program. If it fits, great. If not, no problem. And get into Learn Nation, guys. You saw it. You heard it. 70% of the questions you were asking, the solution exists in Learn Nation. I spent millions of dollars building that for you. Get in there, explore, look around, enroll in the free courses, take the courses, finish the courses. Get busy, get active. All right? Thank you so much. This is Onyx Segal reminding you, when life pushes you, stand straight, smile, and push it the heck back. I'll talk to you very soon, the next time we connect. Thank you very much. Talk to you later. And keep reading this awesome book. Talk to you later.